Checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, breezy. A slight chance for an afternoon shower or storm, a high of 73. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Meet Jim and Rita.
We went on a motorcycle trip.
But somewhere in Wyoming, Jim and Rita were in a serious accident.
They blocked off the interstate and everything and took us to the hospital.
Sometime later, Rita made a discovery.
She had noticed that the bracelet was gone. And I asked the trooper, is there a chance we can go out there and see if it's still there?
And amazingly,
he found a couple of pieces.
It was only 2 tiny links of the bracelet.
Jim was determined to buy Rita another bracelet from Kessler's.
And I had my checkbook in my hand.
But when he arrived there,
and I said, okay, how much? And she says, that's part of our warranty.
Jim and Rita discovered the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty.
It's just amazing that you guys do this.
And it's true.
If you bought it at Kessler's, it's guaranteed. It's just that simple.
It surely is miraculous.
Read the Kessler's miraculous, no small print warranty yourself at KesslersDiamonds.com.
We are the home for all your Bucks coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Our very first guest in the history of Wilde Tausch, which will be, I'm sure, a long and distinguished history.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say daily 52 weeks a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
And then what happens?
No, then Tausch kind of bows out.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
It is the Thursday edition. Uh-oh, you're hearing my voice. That's going to make some people irritated right out of the gates. The Jason Wilde took a day off edition. I told my dad that on the way in this morning.
Let's be honest. He takes a lot of days.
My dad said, I'm proud of Jason for taking the day off.
Why?
He doesn't take many days off.
We're not proud of people for taking vacations.
I told my dad why he took off. I don't know if
why
I'm at
did
liberty.
he take off?
Well, we don't say why you take days off. I don't know if
you
I
just
should
brought it up. I didn't.
I'll let Jason say why he took the day off tomorrow when he returns. How about
interviewing LaFleur again?
Well, we'll find out. But when I told my dad why Jason took the day, he said, I'm proud of him. I'm glad he took the day to do that. So Jason's got the day off today. Jesse and Tausch in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN.
So you'd be proud of me
Madison.
when I take 2 weeks off in August?
No. Well, maybe for different reasons.
Oh, is your dad hating on old T?
He thinks he can be a little interrupty sometimes, and that disrupts his listening enjoyment of the program.
Really?
Yeah, if you're looking for the honest feedback from Usher George.
I am looking for honest feedback.
He thinks he sometimes... Lately, you've been a little interrupty, something he said to me recently, so...
Take the show over, baby. I'm ready for you to take it today.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, where it is John Moser Children's Radiothon Day in Beaver Dam. I want to make sure I shout them out. Head on over dailydodge.com. You can learn all about one of the most successful, biggest, award-winning fundraisers for any media outlet in the state of Wisconsin, supporting local Dodge County charities. The John Moser Children's Radiothon. You get a chance to donate. Live auction items available for people all around the state of Wisconsin and beyond to participate in. So check it out, dailydodge.com. I'll remind you that a few times today. The John Moser Children's Radiothon going on in Beaver Dam and around Dodge County. And I will be hosting from 6 to 8 o'clock tonight. part of the John Moser Children's Radiothon. Big day for old Jesse going around the state. My name is Jesse Nelson. I am normally the producer of this show. Today I am the host. I slide into the studio alongside the Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning.
So the Hornets traded for LaMelo Ball, huh?
They did.
They traded LaMelo Ball to the Timberwolves.
Yes, the Timberwolves traded for LaMelo Ball. The Hornets traded LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, there was, I know on Wisconsin's Morning News this morning, there was discussion, would the Bucks be in on that? And I started thinking, would they? I'm glad if they were, that they didn't get it. But LaMelo Ball, he's got 2 years, $120 million. He's got to get a fat new extension. I'm guessing Minnesota is going to start going through the same thing that the Bucks have been through over the last, 4 or 5 years. With they have a star player. There's going to be a lot of national media folks trying to get him out of Minnesota to some bigger, better market, in their opinion. And I'm guessing this is part of that process of trying to consolidate, give the Timberwolves a longer window. And I'll be curious how that shakes out.
I saw the news, minutes before we came on the air here this morning, and it just it hits different with Giannis gone. I was wondering what this side of the coin would feel like, because growing up, the Bucks were never a serious contender outside of 2001, where I wasn't truly a conscious Bucks fan at that point. I just kind of knew the Bucks were playing the Sixers in a big series. I didn't really understand what was going on yet. And then, as I'm into the 2000s, not a lot going on. Into college, not a lot going on. Then Giannis shows up. They draft Jabari Parker, own the future's now, all that stuff. And then the golden age of Milwaukee Bucks basketball happens for the better part of 7 years or so, going from 2017 to 22, 23, and then it kind of started to fizzle. And I've wondered what it would feel like now without Giannis when we see big NBA stories or big stars on the market to be traded. LaMelo Ball, the one here this morning that we're seeing. And it just kind of hits you okay. And you want to move on to the next. That's how I feel. It just feels like it's hitting different, like there's a malaise around Milwaukee Bucks basketball, and as a fan of the sport.
So is malaise better than angst and exhaustion?
No.
You'd rather be anxious and not sure what's going to happen with your star than malaise?
Yeah, the worst feeling you can have in sports is apathy.
Agree.
And we know that. Look at Wisconsin football the last couple of years. It's different when you're angry because the team's underperforming, because at least then there's the expectation that you should be performing. When you have apathy and there's just nobody showing up or nobody wants to talk about it and nobody cares, which is what I fear the Milwaukee Bucks are going to revert to being, because that's what it was for the better part of my childhood. That's the worst spot you can be in as a team. You're better off being the Knicks forever, where you were terrible, but at least people cared that you were terrible. And they were angry that you were terrible. When you're just, that's who they are. The Colorado Rockies, they're always bad. The White Sox, they're always bad. That's the worst.
Except for the year they won the World Series.
Well, yeah, that was 20-something years ago now. That's the worst spot you can be in. So I'm fearful for what the Milwaukee Bucks are about to become now in the post-Giannis era. And because, strange way, this LaMelo Ball trade elicited that emotion for the first time for me this morning. And I'm a little concerned about that.
So would you rather have them went and tried to get him, use the Miles Turner and Kuzma, and I can't imagine we'd be giving up draft picks, though. I think we're now at the point where that won't happen, so it probably wasn't viable. But there is a part of you that thinks if you bring him in, get the young talent, is that the next guy that you start viewing as potentially not a Giannis, because there's not going to be another Giannis, but another superstar that people will be drawn to? I didn't feel that way, but I don't know if Bucks fans would have liked that reset even happening quicker. Obviously, Jaylen Brown, had he come, that would have been the case. LaMelo's younger and maybe a little more upside, but I don't think he doesn't have the pelts that Jaylen Brown would have had. So I don't want to be in this apathetic mood about the Bucks, but I do think there is this, all right, reset the growth part of it is going to be a hard part to go through, but it might be better than if you put a Band-Aid on it and try and kind of suture something back together when you have a massive gaping wound.
Yeah, I think we saw what the Band-Aid looked like the last couple of years, and the Band-Aid did not work. So the own the future mantra from more than a decade ago, the excitement, trust the process gets a fan base excited until you're 9 years into that process and you have nothing to show for it. I think that's the model for the NBA is if you're not going to be one of the serious contenders, which the Bucks no longer are, then you need to sell.
In fairness, they weren't this year either.
No, they weren't. But when you had Giannis and when the Eastern Conference was theoretically down going into the season, you thought, well, maybe there's a chance with Miles Turner they can do it. Last summer, that's what we said. It's probably not going to work, but maybe there's a chance. You don't have that anymore. So you're not a serious contender. So now it's own the future. We're going back to that. Like, what are you going to be excited for? Not necessarily for this season, but for 3 or 4 seasons down the road. How do you get in early to catch the excitement, to see these guys as they become the budding, rising stars that you hope that they will become? And we got to hope that those draft picks, starting with Burries the other night, hit. 844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. That's your way into the show. We're talking Bucks to start here because we saw on Get Up the LaMelo Ball trade come through this morning and the emotions that it elicited. Did you have similar emotions when you read the Jim Owczarski piece in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel outline? A very long article, very Barnwellian. I actually have not finished the article yet.
That's good to hear.
I was reading it where most reading takes place, and I didn't finish it. So,
oh, God. All right. I'm not going to go down that road. I did read the entire article where most reading takes place, which is usually in a chair or somewhere else.
That is not where I do the majority of my reading.
I don't. Owczarski's piece, and I don't know if Lori Nickel was contributing in that piece. I believe she did. It makes the Bucks franchise look really bad. It makes Giannis look really bad. There's no winners other than maybe who I would give the most credit to out of everybody in this whole sordid affair of the last 3 years is Dame. Dame actually competed. I think Dame was frustrated. He saw how this was going. The Pat Connaughton quotes in that article are very damning. Giannis not being mature enough to say what he needed to say and to move it on. Bud also looks good in this article. I think Bud, everybody, the other thing, and I think this for Packer fans, you don't do things emotionally. It would have been really easy for Ed Policy. And I don't know how this is going to shake out this coming year. I don't envision anything close to what happened with the Milwaukee Bucks. If it does, there will be a house cleaning. But the emotionalness of fans and how they want their pound of flesh after a bad loss, if you believe in what that coach and what that organization's vision and what their core beliefs are, you believe in it. If you don't, when you stop believing that, that's when you move along. The Bucks stopped believing probably too soon. And by the way, Giannis is a part of that. Giannis wanted Bud gone. And the end of that article basically sums up that was the beginning of the end, because you brought in Griffin, and then that didn't work. And then I've been very clear about the Doc Rivers part of it. It was a disaster, like an absolute disaster. Golf simulator, Googling, having people like the Google Me thing is cute when Kurt Signetti does it and you win a national championship. The Google Me, bro, when you stink and you can't beat anybody after you lose to the Wizards twice, who are one of the worst teams in the history of basketball. Not as cute. So what an abject disaster this last 2 years has been, and I wish I didn't get a peek behind the curtain because it's uglier than I think we all thought.
I thought there was a lot of stuff in the article from the 75% of it that I did read that we already knew. Like, we knew firing Bud in retrospect probably was not the right decision for the Milwaukee Bucks. We also knew that he was kind of on the hot seat, and if Kevin Durant's shoe was a little bit smaller, he probably would have been gone after 2021.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't, and they ended up winning a championship. And looking back, like, Bud comes across as a hardo, Like he's, a bit of a dictator, I think is how he's described by some of the sightings in the article.
Most championship coaches are viewed that way.
He established the culture. He laid the foundation. He helped the Bucks become what they did become. And then in an effort to try and evolve to get to the next thing by listening to Giannis as a superstar, by the rest of the players and the championship players on the team that wanted to try and change things up with the leadership and the voice that they were hearing leading the team each day, that is where this thing really started to fall apart. Also, Adrian Griffin was brought in before Damian Lillard was there. I think that timeline, people tend to forget that. Like, the team that Adrian Griffin was theoretically going to take over did not have Damian Lillard on it. I think the dynamic changed the instant Damian Lillard came in and was paired with Giannis. And then once that happened, they wanted to bring in Terry Stotts, who had coached Damian Lillard in Portland, and then the whole who's the voice in the room that everybody's listening to, that became a debacle. It does ultimately show, even with finishing 75% of it, I can tell you this from my takeaways from this thing. It shows you the superstars, Giannis included, were part of the problem. Bud, to some extent, was a tiny, tiny part of the problem. The coaching decisions that were made, whether it was led by the players or by the front office, were all terrible. Adrian Griffin, Doc Rivers, neither one was going to ever succeed in Milwaukee based on what we learned in this article and the pairings of the players. And ultimately, it comes back to what we have, surmised.
When did our new coach, Jenkins,
Taylor Jenkins, yeah.
When did he get fired from Memphis?
Because
if that, I think it happened last season. If it was 2 seasons ago, shame on us. Because that was the other piece of this, is like the Bucks finally kind of taking back their franchise, said we're going to bring in somebody that we think is doing it the right way. And would that have changed things? Because the Doc Rivers experiment was a failure from the jump. It was never going to work. Everybody knew it. I'm not sure what the rationale for bringing him in was, because I think most from the outside saw that this was going to be a disaster. And I think Doc, for whatever reason, he ended up getting a big boy contract, and then he made sure he saw every penny of it. When that is going to be the main motivation, usually bad things happen.
Taylor Jenkins was fired at the end of March of last year. So, what is that, 15 months ago?
So we could have hired him for Giannis's last season.
Theoretically, yes. But also that would have meant the Bucks would be paying at what point? 5 coaches or 4 coaches at one point if they did that and
well, they were at 3
Doc.
coaches when they hired Doc. So if you could have turned things around and done things in a different way, I think that who knows if that would have been a better move, and we'll see how he does building his team out without Giannis. But the overarching take that I have on this is what a mess, and how are they as an organization going to reset? Is it going to be coach-led? Because I don't have a ton of trust in what, from an ownership standpoint, who actually is making the decisions. John Horst, I think I'm not putting as much blame on him as I think a lot of other Bucks fans are, because he was trying to acquiesce and he was trying to placate a great champion and a great warrior. It didn't work. And the Dame injury obviously set him back, but I think the coaching part of that was just as big of a setback. So in the pie chart of blame, I'll have to think about how I'd put that, but I know Giannis would be right at the top along with, the ownership.
844-770-3776 is the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. The article in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Jim Ozarski, well worth your time. I know Jim, Lori Nickel have both appeared on 620 WTMJ, the flagship home of the Milwaukee Bucks, on Wisconsin's Morning News, Wisconsin's Midday News. Check out all of those interviews available in podcast form as well for full recaps of this article and the latest on the Giannis trade over at WTMJ.com. So you can check that out. You can also find plenty more conversation on the ESPN Wisconsin app, recapping the last several days, including this article and reactions to it here on ESPN Wisconsin. Thanks for starting the show being a Debbie Downer. I appreciated that. It was I thought we were going to come in and talk about parties and fun. U.S. men's national team in action tonight, and you come in.
Well, I didn't have the show starting with you talking about going to the bathroom either.
I didn't talk about going to the bathroom. I
did.
never said the word bathroom on this show. I said I read 75% of the article.
So I just wanted to get back to. I did not think anything would be more disturbing about how the Bucks in the last 2 years went, and unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess depending on how you did it, you found a way.
I would really.
Shopping for new windows and doors should never include haggling. Pella sticks to straightforward pricing, honest conversations, helping homeowners find the right fit for their home, and they never use those high-pressure sales tactics when you buy direct through Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, the same team that manufactures your windows and doors. They also sell them, install them, and service them. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. All right, so obviously there's been a lot of Giannis discussion the last 2 or 3 days. Well warranted. We will come back to that at some point. But I have holstered a few things from the last weekend. And one of them is something I have to get your opinion and Owen's opinion and our fans' opinion on maybe one of the most unique party circumstances I've ever seen. I will tell you what that is, and can't wait to hear the reaction. We'll do that next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, and by Events by Design.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 8 to 16 ounce selected varieties, Old Dutch Tortilla, Dutch Crunch, Ripple Chips, or Salsa, 2 for $5.50. 48 ounce selected varieties, Cedar Crest Ice Cream, $3.99. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, $5.49 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, $4.99.
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Ah, no, what happened here?
Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day.
I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Homer here. I've been on this journey since January and have already lost 27 pounds and on my way to at least 30. What I love most is how safe and easy this program has been. No complicated plans, just real results that fit into everyday life. If you've been looking for a weight loss program that really works, this is it. For a limited time, get $200 off with our summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
Brian Butch here. From high school All-American to Division I to the pros, I've spent a lifetime putting in the work. And this 4th of July, Iron Jock is celebrating with one of our biggest deals of the summer. From June 25th through July 6th, get 40% off all Iron Jock gear with a minimum purchase of $50 using code ESPN40. Excludes clearance and gift cards. Whether you're training, traveling, grilling out, or just staying active this summer, Iron Jock gear is built to keep up. Our products are moisture-wicking, anti-static, built for performance, built to last, built in Wisconsin. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high-alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Jesse and Tausch today on Wilde and Tausch. Jason will be back tomorrow. Great tease. And just to clarify, you do not want to poll the audience on where do you read the majority of the articles that you consume. You do not want to ask that question.
No, God. Trying to get that image out of my head for the
I
last
think I'm
15
right,
minutes.
but we don't have to go into it any further. You have a story about a party that you've wanted to get to for days, and Tausch, the floor is yours.
All right. So you guys know I love awkward social interactions. I think they're fun. Airplanes, usually a lot of those happen on that. But I had something, I had a birthday a week or two ago. Birthdays are always an interesting thing because as you're a young kid, they're awesome. And you start getting older, you get the 21st birthday is a big deal. And then after that, it's like, all right, whatever. You get to 40. Well, we had a buddy who, I don't know how I would describe him from a social standpoint. His name is Stud Rocker. That's his nickname.
Rocker.
I'm not going to give any full names because this story. So Stud Rocker is turning 50, or he turned 50 earlier this week.
Happy birthday, Stud Rocker.
Obviously, I was going to come in with this news after the surprise party. So his mom thought it would be a fun idea to surprise him. And for most of us that know Stud Rocker, I was surprised when we got this invite, and then invite other folks and So I was at a local brewery, said get there at 5 because the surprise is coming at 5:30. I'm like, I don't need to. I'm not going to get there at the 5. I had to drop one of the kids off somewhere. So I said, I'll get there at 6. Yeah, I'll be there for after the surprise party.
Oh.
Well, that's what the schedule allowed, so that's what I could go do. So, all this stuff, I get to the place, and I'm thinking, all right, there's going to be cake, there's going to be balloons and streamers, and then I'll go say hi to Stud Rocker. We'll hang out for an hour. Well, I end up getting up there. His mom's there, his brother's there, his sister's there, his teammates. I don't want to say what sport he used to play, but some of his teammates came from Minnesota, from Chicago, from St. Louis to come and surprise Stud Rocker.
So this is a huge to-do.
It's a to-do, no doubt. There's pizza and there's great craft beers, the whole deal. And I get up there at about 10 to 6. So the surprise should have happened. I said, where is Stud Rocker? Stud Rocker got wind that it was a surprise party and said, to hell with this. I'm shutting my phone off. Stud Rocker surprised everybody else, but not really, by not showing up to his own surprise party.
What?
Yeah. Stud Rocker said, I ain't coming. Nobody knows where Stud Rocker is. He's nowhere to be found. He has his phone off
the grid.
All of his buddies are sitting out on the funniest part of the whole deal was, didn't matter who you talked to, nobody was surprised. Everybody kind of understood that is Stud Rocker. So I think had he not known, he would have been super irritated showing up and having people there. So is it IPT? There's so many things. Then what do you do with the card and the gift? What happens to the cake? I mean, everybody's going to eat and drink. There's no doubt the cake got cut. The cake was cut when I got there at 5:45. And no stud rocker.
Oh, my God. Okay. 844-770-3776. That's the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. This did not disappoint. Okay. How long did you stay?
Oh, we enjoyed ourselves. We stayed till Sarah ended up coming a little bit later. I'd say most people left by 6:30, 6:45. We left around 7.
And stud rocker never came?
No stud rocker. No.
Have you been in any type of communication with stud rocker since?
No.
Has anybody?
That is a really good question. I know there were a lot of folks because, ironically enough, most of the people said, this will be great content for your show. And I said, that's right.
It is.
Well, then, of course, Giannis gets traded the next morning or that night. So that didn't work. But there are just so many different parts of this. Like, would you be mad if you're driving from Minnesota to celebrate? And the funniest part of it was, no, nobody was that upset there. We'll just head downtown and relive our old days at college, and we'll go have a night, and we'll head home. But nobody was able to get in touch with Stud Rocker. I'm assuming he's been back in the sphere, but I don't know that for certain, and that's kind of how everybody left it.
Wow. If you're going to plan a party, surprise or not, the most important thing, and I'm sure Jason would say this if he was here as well, he's a notorious great gift giver for birthdays and holidays and whatnot. You have to know the person that you're planning the party for.
Yes.
Like, I'm not going to plan you a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. I know if I'm planning you a party, we're doing it at Buck and Honey's, or we're doing it around some type of Wisconsin Badgers event, or with our great partners. Like, if we're planning Jason a party, it's got to be in his basement or at most his backyard. Like, you're not going to get him to go anywhere. So you got to know your clientele for the person who's the main subject of the party. So it sounds like, as good as the thought was by Stud Rocker's mom, that's where the whole fault in this entire plan first originated. If everybody else knows this isn't going to be a great idea for Stud Rocker, you got to say, like, I don't know if this is the way that we should go about this.
Stud Rocker's mom.
That's where it starts. Stud Rocker is not without his own fault here. If you know that everybody is at a party for you and you have teammates who I'm guessing you haven't seen in a long time,
been a bit, I would think,
who have come from around the greater Midwest to come and celebrate you, even if you don't want the party to be about you with a big surprise and to-do and cake and what, at least tell everybody, like, all right, I'm not coming to that party, but meet me at, local establishment, dive bar, other alternate location, whatever. Like, I'll meet you there. At least let's go and hang out for a little bit. Like, I appreciate you coming up. You can't just ghost everybody.
Oh, he ghosted.
Who's gotten together. Yeah, you can't do that.
Well, he did.
I mean, now, Grant, I'm someone
He did, and I'll be honest, the most interesting part of this, because legit walked up the steps, said, hey, where is Stud Rocker? And no, he ain't coming. He shut his phone off 3 hours ago, and nobody can get in touch with him. Wasn't remotely surprised.
So the other thing, who leaked the info to Stud Rocker?
Great question. Don't know the answer to that.
Everyone on a surprise party, I think surprise parties are one of the purest forms yet of secrecy in the world, where everybody who's going to a surprise party understands we're not leaking the information.
Here's what I would think would happen. You get, and again, I'm not on Facebook. I think you send this out via social media. And my guess is somebody probably wished Stud Rocker a happy birthday that probably shouldn't have, or wouldn't know that it was his birthday. And then Stud Rocker's ears perked up and said,
why do you know it's my birthday?
Yeah, what's going on? Smelling a little bit, and away you go.
The texts are rolling in on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin.
I figured this might be interesting. I don't know what the right I don't know what the right thing is, because you want to celebrate. 50's a big birthday. So I understand where his mom was coming from. Wanted to celebrate him.
Yeah.
He does not do a ton of social stuff, at least not that I know of. And so I understood I think the motivation was in a really good place. And I wonder if she didn't do anything, I think he would have probably been irritated about that too. So I don't know.
Studrocker sounds like he's hard to please.
She was in a no-win situation. I thought she organized this in a very low-key, would have been very, 2 or 3 minutes of, hey, happy birthday, and then everybody would have just been able to catch up. You sit down, you have some beers, you eat a little pizza, you wolf some cake down, you call it a day, and then you go about your business. So I think a lot of folks are in the same boat as you, where you're kind of blaming Stud Rocker's mom. And it's like, I don't think we should be as hard on Stud Rocker's mom as maybe you were.
The thought was certainly there.
Yeah.
A very kind thought to throw the party. So I want to make sure I'm clarifying that. But if you know that Stud Rocker doesn't want that kind of party, like, as good as the thought may be, as kind as the thought may be.
How many people do you think like surprise parties? Would you, I think you, not that you're self-centered. I'm not going to say that. Not that you're an only child. I think you would be tailor-made for a surprise party. Like, if your mom and dad decided, or Becca got together and said, we're going to throw Jesse a surprise party at the local bowling alley, and all of his tier 3 and up friends are going to be there, and they're going to celebrate Jesse Nelson, Jesse Nelson's going to be really happy about that.
I would probably enjoy that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
I want to also clarify, if we continue this conversation throughout today's show, I cannot empathize with Stud Rocker at all. If you want to throw me a birthday party, I'm going to show up for the birthday party. You want to have cake and a fun time together, and everybody's out, and whether you're watching the NBA draft or soccer or whatever, I'm all for having a good time with everybody. So I do not empathize at all with how Stud Rocker would handle this situation. I am the total opposite. I cannot fathom not going to a party and ghosting everybody if they've traveled into town just to see you. That is remarkably.
I feel very guilty about that. Yeah.
That's crazy. There are a lot of texts coming in. They're also showed up in the YouTube comments, both on the ESPN Madison and the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels.
A vast majority of people don't want to have a surprise party. I think you're in the minority on that.
So let me start with a text here from Erica in Milwaukee, one of our great fans. She texts in, not about Aaron Rodgers this time, on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. My mom has done that, what Stud Rocker did. Was mad she wasn't told about the surprise because she didn't have herself looking beautiful. So I think that's another component of it. Like, if Stud Rocker's out in his pajamas grabbing the newspaper from his mailbox and he comes walking back inside, there's a surprise.
Well, no, you have to set this up where it's like, hey, we're going to go out and grab dinner somewhere for your birthday, and then just, we're going to stop off at this local brewery. Your brother wanted to say hi, something like that. That would have, and I'm sure that was the plan. And unfortunately, the plan got kiboshed.
Who gets the most blame is definitely what's picking up the most traction on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. We'll review some of those responses coming up next. This certainly did not disappoint. There's no doubt about that. We will continue the conversation. Check your responses. Still to come, we're going to get into some of the biggest Packers questions ahead of training camp starting in about a month. Rob Demovsky has those outlined over at ESPN.com. Our Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions continues a little bit later in the 11 o'clock hour. So stick ahead. We still have plenty more to get to, plus your responses to the Stud Rocker birthday surprise. That's next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
As we celebrate Independence Day in 250 years of American freedom, there's never been a better time to invest in the place you call home. Maybe it's that roof you've been meaning to replace, those drafty windows you've learned to live with, or that bathroom you've wanted to update for years. Whatever project you've been putting off, Exterior Pros and Baths can help. This Independence Day, you can save up to $3,000 on your next project. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-1299. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-1299. That's 800-583-1299.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. With over 40 years of experience saving businesses money, we are on a mission to eradicate entrepreneurial poverty. Try saying that 5 times fast. Do you lose sleep at night trying to figure out how to make the next payroll? Are your vendors lined up outside the door? Are you cash on delivery? We can help. We have a proven process and strategy to turn your cash-sucking business into a cash-generating machine, so you can keep that cash in your pocket. It really works. We use it in our business, and many clients are successfully using it in their business. Ask Pam, who recently bought a business and asked us to help her see through the fog. Would you like to sleep at night knowing your bills are paid, take a vacation, or go out to eat with your spouse? You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us at 414-325-2040 to set up a complimentary consultation. That's 414-325-2040 or visit us at nealgroup.net. That's NEAL group.net.
Selling your home is more than putting a sign in the yard. It's about having the right team beside you. I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams. We help relieve unnecessary stress with our team's expert listing process, strong negotiation skills, and fast, clear communication. Our white glove service experience is provided at every price point at every step of the way. Start your home journey today by searching online, Tony Wendorf. Tony Wendorf & Associates, a real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The Stud Rocker birthday surprise debacle. The story Tausch shared last segment. Stud Rocker 50th birthday party.
Surprise.
A surprise party that you showed up for a little bit later than everyone else. And when you arrived...
Oh, no. There are people that showed up later than I did.
Okay.
And they were also surprised. So this actually ended up being a hell of a surprise party.
For everybody, it sounds
It was a surprise. Well, I mean, why surprise one person when you could surprise 50 people?
People coming from all around the Midwest to come celebrate Stud Rocker's birthday. He gets wind somehow that there's a surprise party happening and says, I'm not going, I'm ghosting everybody.
How does that work if you, let's say this is Tier 1 Tyler.
Yeah.
And Tier 1 Tyler despises the fact that there'd be a surprise party. As his best friend, do you tell him there's a surprise party coming, or do you just let this thing play itself out and then potentially put Tier 1 Tyler in a tough spot?
This goes back to putting the blame on the person organizing the party. I think as one of his best friends, I would say if someone has the idea, let's have a surprise party for Tier 1 Tyler, and he hates surprise parties, I would say that's probably not a good idea.
But his wife is all in on doing the surprise party.
Well, that
You're going to tell his wife,
I would say,
you don't
I
know
think that's
Tyler, don't do it?
I would say, if you think he would enjoy that, we can do it.
So you'd
but
passive-aggressively do it.
I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. I think you gotta try and, if you realize an idea is bad from the jump, and we do this all the time with different ideas we have for things around here. If you think an idea is bad from the jump, you got to hit it right away. You don't want to go down the entire rabbit hole of planning the entire thing before someone says, this might not work great. Like, you got to hit it right away. So I got a text here from Pete in Sun Prairie on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Definitely IPT, in poor taste for stud rocker, but blame is absolutely on the mom. She's got to know her son better. Pete and Sun Prairie. Again, very loving, very kind thought to plan a surprise party for your son for his 50th birthday. But if he hates surprise parties, that's probably not the best way to go about this.
I can't argue with any of that, but it happened. So then the question is, how did this all play itself out? And I'm not faulting Stud Rocker's mom. I'm just not going to. I think she put in the time. She did it. It just did not work. Those things happen. And by the way, I also, as I was leaving, said this is probably one of the best surprise parties you could go to because you're very surprised. And it was as memorable of a party as I'll never forget this party.
Sounds like it. Ryan in Madison, Stud Rocker owes everybody the cost of whatever gift they brought him and travel expenses.
Nope. I disagree with who just said that?
That was Ryan in Madison.
Yeah, but I disagree with Ryan. Buyer beware. Again, nobody was surprised that this played out that way. So you can't ask to get reimbursed. I do wonder, do you leave the gift? Because you don't even know who's going to get it to him.
Bill in Oconomowoc texted. You can see it on the video stream with us here on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We've all heard of the Irish exit, the Irish goodbye. What's the best name we can come up with for never showing up to your own party?
Really good question.
It sounds like it's going to be known as the Stud Rocker.
It could be the Stud Rocker.
Just pulling a no-show.
Yeah, it's a great question. The Irish exit, I think, is an underused deal. And I don't know. Most Irish folks I don't want to stereotype here, but usually I don't know why it's the Irish exit. Can somebody get to the crux of that? Because most Irish folks, they're not all that excited to leave. They like hanging out. Why is it an Irish exit?
I don't know. I don't know what the origins of that are. More texts coming in. Jim on the South Side, I would rather surprise someone than be the one surprised.
I'm in that camp too. I prefer being the surpriser than the surprisee.
I did a quick survey of our ESPN Madison office. Not a lot of people here. I don't know where. Beautiful day out. I don't know what.
Well, they're all up at the Radiothon.
We got a few people here in the office, and I said, "Have you guys ever had a surprise party thrown for you?" 2 of the 3 said yes, and I said, "Did you enjoy it?" Both said yes, they did.
Okay, so you're 3 for 3.
So everyone seems to enjoy when a surprise party is thrown in their honor. As long as you're ready for it, I think is the key. But
I'm guessing control freaks would have a really hard time with a surprise party. People that have to have control.
Well, I don't know, would you?
Oh, you think I'm a control freak?
Sorry, couldn't help it.
No, I'm actually curious if you believe that I'm a control freak.
No, you are not.
I would. No, I'm not a Monster fan, but I would still show up. Even if I caught wind of it, I would show up.
Joan in Fox Point, how ironic that Stud Rocker is actually auto-corrected to Stud Rocket, which is also a good name. Yeah. How ironic that Stud Rocker is more notorious by not showing up to his own party than if he had just gone and appreciated his family and friends. That is kind of the irony of this.
Yeah, if it would have just been a normal party, we'd probably still be talking about Giannis.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think this would have come up on the show at all.
I can assure you it
was
would
just an
not
average surprise party.
Yeah.
But he didn't show up to his own surprise party because someone leaked, his agent or someone leaked to him.
I do wonder how many
times
this I can't imagine this happens very often. This has to be an outlier. Like, this can't be a normal occurrence. But there are more people, and I've just read through a few of the texts, that they get it. They understand it.
Matt Coonan, he's my hero. Stud Rocker's my hero. I can't. I can't.
Matt
fathom
Kunin, that
not
reminds me
going.
of the time that Leon Carosi double booked
God.
the beach club, and they had to have two parties, and Zach ended up having to do a bunch of work, and they pulled it off, and it's very similar to that party at the beach club back in the late 80s.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. 844-770-3776. Keep them coming on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Ultimately, I think where I fully land on this is I do think the plan was a problem, and more of Stud Rocker's closest friends should have said from the jump, I don't think this is a good idea, Mrs. Stud Rocker or Mama Stud Rocker. I think we should probably think about doing this a little bit differently to make sure that he's happy with what we're going to do. But you got to find the mole. Whoever the mole was who leaked it, you got to figure out who that was.
I think in fairness, I'm not sure there would have been anything that would have been planned that would have worked. In fairness.
Then why is everybody even getting together to celebrate Stud Rocker if he doesn't want to do anything?
No, I think I don't think anything. I think if you'd have taken him out like a charter fishing boat, like if I was advising Mama Stud Rocker,
yeah,
5 or 6 of his good buddies go fishing. That would have been what I would have probably told her to do.
The final word on this, a text from Jackrabbit Mama on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. I bet Jason would not love a surprise party, right? Would Jason Wilde like to have a surprise party thrown for him?
No. No, he would not.
You think he'd fake it? And he'd pretend like he enjoyed it, but actually be irritated about it? I think he would like it. I think if you did it right, you get all his old pals, and Antonio Freeman comes rolling in, and you're there.
Yeah, I'm sure Free's going to say, hey, my kid's playing tonight at out in Los Angeles in a World Cup, whatever tonight's preseason game is. I'm going to come out to Wilde's surprise party.
Well, not tonight, but in general, he might do it. If he had enough, if he had as much planning as Stud Rocker's party had, then I bet he would consider it.
Maybe.
It seemed like you guys are pretty tight from his appearance yesterday. Great appearance, by the way. Check it out on the ESPN Wisconsin app and on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. And yes, U.S. Turkey tonight in the World Cup. Soccer update brought to you by Discount Liquor. Stop by their Milwaukee or Waukesha locations for all your tailgating needs. You watching tonight? 9 o'clock, we're starting at
Well,
Puppy tonight.
ironically, I have another game that I am coaching 100.5 ESPN Madison's 12U softball team without my daughter for the second time in a week. So I will probably
You sound really excited about it.
I will catch the second part of that. As my fellow coach Suda has said, we have signed up for a job, and we will do that job. Whether or not we're super excited about it or not, that does not matter. We will suit up.
Sounds like some of the Milwaukee Bucks from Jim Owczarski's article over the last few years. Time now for trivia. This is regular Wilde and Tausch trivia. World Cup fever is our category today in honor of the U.S. and Turkey playing tonight at 9 o'clock. World Cup fever, since it's starting at
I have the anecdote for the fever. Just don't watch it.
Since it's starting at 9 o'clock, caller number 9 is going to be our caller today for Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Caller number 9 at 844-770-3776. Questions about the 2026 FIFA World Cup, part of today's Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Caller number 9 at 844-770-3776. Again, this is our regular Wilde and Tausch Trivia today. Coming up a little bit later in the 11 o'clock hour, we will feature our Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design, as we celebrate Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels. Right now, caller number 9 at 844-770-3776. Wilde and Tausch Trivia is coming your way next. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Brian Butch here. From high school All-American to Division I to the pros, I've spent a lifetime putting in the work. And this 4th of July, Iron Jock is celebrating with one of our biggest deals of the summer. From June 25th through July 6th, get 40% off all Iron Jock gear with a minimum purchase of $50 using code ESPN40. Excludes clearance and gift cards. Whether you're training, traveling, grilling out, or just staying active this summer, Iron Jock gear is built to keep up. Our products are moisture wicking, anti-static, built for performance, built to last, built in Wisconsin. Shop now at ironjock.com.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Clutter piling up? Take a breath. Badgerland Junk is here to help. Based in Milwaukee, they make cleanouts simple, fast, and stress-free. From single item pickups to full estate cleanouts, their team does the heavy lifting so you don't have to. Homeowners and property managers, this is your solution. Furniture, appliances, yard debris, even commercial cleanouts. They do it all with clear upfront pricing and no hidden fees. Serving Milwaukee and the entire metro area, visit BadgerlandJunk.com. Badgerland Junk, your trusted cleanout experts.
Are you starting college, moving to a new apartment, or just looking to create a new vibe in your college living? Make IKEA your first stop for everything you need to create a college space that's all you. Whether you're looking to add color with cozy bedding, organize your dorm with smart storage solutions, or find that perfect sleeper sofa for those weekend visits, IKEA has your college life covered. And verified college students get 15% off when they sign up for IKEA Family. It's free and packed with rewards. So go grab your roommate and head to IKEA Oak Creek or shop online at IKEA.us or the IKEA app.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. That's GEIS Doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
ESPN Wisconsin's Game Nights will here for Events by Design. You want people to actually show up for your community event, charity gala, or nonprofit fundraiser while making a memorable impression on them. Events by Design turns those moments into meaningful experiences that engage your audience and bring your mission to life. They manage everything: designing, planning, production. No stress, no loose ends. Just an experience your guests remember, exponentially benefiting your cause. Get started today. Just search online. Events by Design. They design, you party.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. Jason will be back tomorrow. No, for those who are inquiring, I don't think he partied too hard with Matt LaFleur last night, and that's why he is off the show today. I don't think that's the reason
We don't know
why.
that for sure, though, either.
I cannot confirm, but I'm pretty sure that's not why he's not on the show today. He can tell you why he wasn't on the show today when he returns tomorrow. But it's Jesse and Tausch for the time being. We are going to get into some Packers stuff. Rob Demovsky has 4 lingering questions for the Green Bay Packers ahead of training camp starting in about a month. So we will get into those to start the 10 o'clock hour here in a few minutes. But before we do that, it is time to play Wilde and Tausch Trivia presented by Vortex Golf and Cousin Subs.
Wilde Tausch Trivia is presented by Vortex Golf, rangefinders you can bet on, and by Cousin Subs. Have a grad to celebrate? Purchase $30 in Cousin Subs gift cards and receive a free 7.5-inch sub. Cousin Subs, they believe in better.
We welcome in today's trivia contestant, Josh in Madison. Josh, good morning. Welcome to Wilde and Tausch. Surprise! It's a surprise party for you. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Go USA.
Yeah, U.S. and Turkey tonight, 9 o'clock. Josh, do you understand how offsides works in soccer?
Well, Antonio Freeman didn't.
I do. I have sons that have been playing it for a while. It's an imaginary line for a reason, and good luck.
Well, good luck to you at Wilde and Tausch Trivia World Cup
You know
fever.
who would love to play soccer? Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams. Oh, you can't go behind me. No.
Oh, my God.
You
This
can't.
again.
There's a line. You got to wait. The ball can't be thrown until that.
Question number
Yeah, it's too
one.
easy that way, Tom.
Yeah, wouldn't we just we bring him up like Leroy Butler right on the line of scrimmage? You can never throw the ball down the field. Safeties are up. That's on us. That's not on them. Right? That's how this works.
How much stoppage time do you think there will be added tonight?
Somewhat how that works.
Yeah.
Question number one, Josh in Madison, is this. No blank, no party has become a viral cheer by the Tartan Army supporting which of these World Cup teams? No blank, no party. Is it no Scotland, no party, no Curacao, no party, or no Carbless, no party? Huh?
See, I thought it was going to be no kilt, no party, but we'll go Scotland.
No Scotland, no party. You know that one, Tausch?
I don't. No. It's catchy, though.
It is
catchy.
very catchy. Yeah, they've been.
I will say this: for as much as I've kind of been whatever on the World Cup, once America gets to the final 16, I am going to jump in. I have totally told you I am a bandwagon cat, complete bandwagon, and all that rowing Norway's doing is really turning me into becoming more of a soccer guy, but not yet. All right, which of these players has scored the most goals in World Cup history? Is it Ronaldo, Messi, or Thierry Henry?
Oh, no. Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry. It's French.
Hey. Hey, Jesse's dad.
Messi.
He's interrupting me. Jesse interrupted me. Jesse's dad.
You said the name wrong. It's
I think old boy knows that it's not. Well, I'm not going to get it.
Thierry Henry.
Yeah, that's messy.
Yeah,
That
was
is
messy.
I agree. It's like Jesse when he's reading an article.
Question number 3, Josh, and a chance at a perfect day. Which of these teams has clinched advancing to the knockout stage of the World Cup for the first time in its nation's history? Is that Switzerland, Canada, or Morocco?
Morocco.
Morocco had a big run in the last World Cup. It is not Morocco. Tausch, do you know it? You were looking at the shit.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's Canada.
Canada is the correct Canada. Never into the knockout stage, but now they're hosting the World Cup along with the U.S. and Mexico, and Canada has advanced to the round of 32. Josh in Madison, you have 3.
For the record, it's never been round to 32, so this doesn't really count unless you make the 16.
They have expanded the tournament.
We're not going to jump into. We're not going to get too excited if it's not down to 16.
So
that right?
is this why you've been saying you're not going to be excited for the U.S. until they're in the round of 8?
Yeah.
You want them to win not one.
We're
but
favored.
You
We'll
want
be
them to win
favored
2
in the next 2,
knockout
is what
games.
I was told. Bosnia, Herzegovina.
We're for sure going to be
and
favored in the
Tausch.
next one.
Just get in. The water's nice.
You think
Come
I
on,
should
go
jump on a
USA.
band? Should I get in a bandwagon early?
Fun.
I told you I'm jumping
Get
into
in.
bandwagon.
It's fun.
Do you
What
not
else you
enjoy?
doing? What else are you doing?
Do you
Come
not
on.
enjoy watching?
I love
sports?
big events. Listen, I love big events. I love them. I don't view these first couple
gonna be-
games as big events. That's just me. I'm wrong. I'm
There
definitely
were
not saying
entire
I'm.
like massive watch parties, literally
Yeah,
across
it's
the
great.
street
I
here
love
in Madison. They
that.
had one last week.
I love it, but I'm gonna wait. And then I will jump in. Water will be a little warmer in a week or two.
Josh and Madison, you have 3 of the 4 entries for tomorrow's drawing. Good luck to you, sir, and thanks for playing.
Go USA.
Amen.
USA and Turkey.
Go Pack and go
9:00
USA
tonight.
and free. That was fun.
That was good. Wilde and Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs and by Vortex Golf. We will get to some Packers conversation. By the way, this just in, Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy from the Bucks Radio Network. He read the whole Jim Ozarski article. He is scheduled to appear at 10:35 this morning to share his insights on the Giannis trade and what comes next for the future of the Bucks organization. Justin Garcia scheduled to appear about 30 minutes from right now here on Wilde and Tausch. We're going to talk Packers lingering questions before training camp starts in a month from Rob Demovsky. We'll dive into that in 2 minutes in the 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint. I'm Phil, saving you tons of money in the meat department. 20-ounce Simply Potatoes, 2 for $5 or $2.59 each, or 1 pound Indiana Kitchen Bacon, $3.99. I can run my hot prices in the meat department. Simply Potatoes, 2 for $5 or Indiana Kitchen Bacon, $3.99. Enjoy these great prices in the meat department. Better products, better prices, better service, because we're employee-owned.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. After your round, stop in the clubhouse for food and drinks. Call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
The biggest sporting event in the world, and a Superior light beer to match it. From the pitch to the pour, Superior's worth paying for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 26. Enjoy Michelob Ultra while watching FIFA World Cup 26 at Maxwell's in Cedarburg, Stenny's Lake Country, Maddie's in New Berlin, and Jugs Pub and Grill in Slinger. Michelob Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2026 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen. Tune into The Rich Eisen Show weekdays from 12 to 2, right here on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say Kissing Cousins, Pack Bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And we'll end this crazy game in a tie. Oh, my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch today. ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Wisconsin app, the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Let's talk some Packers, huh? That's what we do around here.
All right.
ESPN NFL Nation Packers reporter Rob Demovsky, who, while Jason is away today, is our go-to expert for Packers information. He has, over at ESPN.com, 4 lingering questions ahead of Packers training camp. 4 lingering questions. I thought about presenting this to you as Tausch. Would you like to guess what the 4 questions are?
Sure.
Or Tausch, what are your 4 questions about the Packers? And then comparing them to Rob. But I want to make sure we dive into all the things that Rob says. So you tell me how you would like to approach this.
I will guess that the first one will be the place kicker.
Kicker is not on this list.
Is that right?
Kicker is not a question.
Okay.
I think that means it's going to be Trey Smack, and it's just a matter of getting to it.
Oh, it's more about, okay, so this is more what could become a job battle. This isn't what are you concerned about heading into the season.
Rob writes at ESPN.com, still, this was in the prelude to his article, there were some lingering issues at the end of the offseason program. Some of those could be answered in training camp, which starts July 27th for rookies and July 28th for veterans, and the first public practice is July 29th. Remember that, Tausch, so you're there. Others might not be solved until the season plays out. Here is a look at some of the questions still facing the Packers.
Okay.
Does that provide you any clarity on what these questions may be?
It does a little bit, but I think everything is pretty subjective. So I'm just going to let you read Rob's, and then I'll analyze.
Why don't I just tell you what the questions are? We'll do 2 now, 2 in the next segment. So starting with this one, question number 1 from Rob Demovsky to ESPN.com. 2 words. Who's healthy?
I don't know how big of a question that is. We know who's not going to be starting camp, but as far as when they're going to be back is more of the question, who's healthy? We're looking at, the question must be, is Zach Tom healthy? Well, sounds like that answer is going to be yes. Tucker Kraft's going to start on the PUP. Mike is going to start on the PUP. Looks like Devontae Wyatt. I mean, it is always going to be question marks, but especially the way we had so many guys end the season on the IL, it does make for when they'll be back. But I don't think anyone is thinking, outside of Micah, I think everybody should be available that has missed, that were big-time players. They should be available for that opener up in Minnesota.
Rob starts this portion of the article by saying here, on the final day of mandatory minicamp, 17 players were with the rehab group. That's almost 20% of the Packers' offseason roster. Of those 17, 11 were either projected starters or expected contributors. So guys who may not be in a starting role, but are expected to be significant contributors for the Packers in 2026. The names, as you mentioned, many of them, Micah Parsons, St. Juice, Isaiah McDuffie, Devontae Wyatt, Javon Hargrave, Aaron Banks, Zach Tom, Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, and then the newcomer on special teams, Sky Moore, is among those names too. So
yeah, it's
significant contributors.
It's always a question mark, but I just think that most of these will be answered, and it's not what's going to end up happening here. There's a few that I think, if you're asking me to kind of who am I most concerned about, or who am I not have a good grasp of what their timeline is, the answer would be Wyatt and Zach Tom. Aaron Banks, he's a veteran. Hargrave's a veteran. They're not doing a ton of stuff anyways. Micah Parsons, through his brother and through his own press conference, has been very clear about where he's at. Tucker Kraft has been very clear about where he's at. By the way, it looks like he sold his house. He's going to get a newer house in the greater Green Bay area.
It's probably a good sign.
Tucker Kraft ain't going anywhere.
Yep.
And I think everybody knows that, but it's just another reminder that he's going to get broke off. So
you going to buy Giannis's house?
It feels as if, where's his house at?
I don't know, Milwaukee area somewhere. Someone called in the other day and said they've been to his house or driven past his house, Giannis's house.
It's a little different. You've driven past it, or if you've been in.
I don't remember what the story was. I don't even remember what show I was listening to on ESPN Wisconsin where someone
that's
said
a great
that the other day. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So I think when you kind of look at this, Zach Tom and Devontae Wyatt are the two. Zach Tom, how much of the patella did he do? Because if you're redoing a full patella, that's a big deal. If now it sounds like there's different ways that you go about handling that. Zach Tom, Devontae Wyatt, I think, are the two guys that you need to stay healthy, that you don't really know where they're at and how they're recovering. At least I haven't seen those. I know Jason talked to Zach Tom. I think the goal is that they will be ready to go by Minnesota and at some point during training camp, just like we kind of are thinking Tucker Kraft will be.
So that's question number 1. Who's healthy? From Rob Demovsky over at ESPN.com. 4 lingering questions for the Packers 1 month out from training camp. Question number 2, where's the pass rush? Kind of goes to what we're talking about with who's healthy. Micah Parsons is going to start on the PUP list, most likely, to begin the season. Rashawn Gary was traded to the Cowboys. Kingsley Enagbare signed with the Jets. As Rob writes...
I still can't believe the Cowboys gave up a 4th for him.
It's
still
crazy.
Amazing.
That trio, so Parsons, Gary, and Enagbare, that was 22 of the Packers' 36 sacks, 56 of their 106 quarterback hits last season, more than 50% in both of those categories.
Yeah.
So somebody's got to step up and help with the pass rush if this team wants to be any good at that particular aspect of the game in the first month or 6 weeks or so, however much it is, of the 2026 season. Rob then describes, and I quote, underachieving former first-round pick Lucas Van Ness and second-year pro Barron Sorrell got most of the first-team reps in minicamp. And then he goes on to talk about both of those players. But tough to set up Lucas Van Ness by describing him as underachieving former first-round pick, but it's probably fair at this juncture.
Has he lived up to being, it's just going to be his 4th year. Has he lived up to being the 13th pick in the draft?
Not yet.
So has he underachieved?
Well, it depends when you expect guys to achieve. I think some of the conversation about him this offseason that I've heard from you and Jason and from others is, when do you think Lucas Van Ness is supposed to hit this? Like, I think most players...
Through 3 seasons, has he achieved what you would expect from a 13th pick?
No.
So he's underachieved.
For what he was drafted to come in and do, he has not performed to the expectation.
I'm not going to put this all on him. Obviously, there's injuries. I think he had started to kind of felt like he turned a corner. Last year, unfortunately, he got hurt and he missed a bunch of time. And I think with Micah on the other side, that would have really helped him. Obviously, when he got back, Micah was out. And so there's going to be this is a huge year for him, both professionally, how he's going to approach the rest of his career. This year is a huge indicator of where his trajectory is. He needs to have a really good year. What that looks like for him, I'm not expecting him to be a 15-sack guy, but I do think he should be able to replace the numbers that Rashawn Gary put up. If he does that in this year, I think you're going to feel pretty good. 60 again, I don't know why this number keeps getting switched. Goody has 1, Pro Football Focus has another. 7.5 sacks, 60-some-odd pressures is a really good season, especially for someone who has underachieved throughout his first 3 years as a first-round pick. I think that's a fair criticism, and I think he is excited about this upcoming season. The Packers decided we're going to keep him for another year with the 5th-year option. There's a lot on the line here for him to show that he has taken that next step, and the next step taken will be a heck of a lot easier with Micah Parsons being on the other side of him.
I want to go back to something here real quick before we take a break and then get to Rob's next 2 questions. So the conversation about potential and when you judge someone for the results versus their potential, I feel like that's kind of a theme across all of Wisconsin sports. Like Luke Fickell is the head coach at Wisconsin. When is it potential versus results? Matt LaFleur, when is it potential versus results? Jordan Love, Lucas Van Ness, the Milwaukee Bucks over the last several years, potential versus results. What is it that you look for if you're a general manager, if you're a head coach, any evaluator of any of this stuff? What do you look for, and what is a tell when you feel like the potential is not going to be met by someone who you feel is underperforming?
I think you evaluate everything, but you really look at the growth. And that's why when people are, Jordan Love has grown in a really good way. I think his growth, his completion percentage, there's certain metrics you're looking for, but there's also, you just watch and you see how in control of the offense he is, what he does when you need to make plays. The Arizona game last year, made plays. There's certain parameters that you're looking for, but it's not just about one game. It's not about being overly emotional and reacting to that. It's about trusting your process. And these guys spend a heck of a lot of time with these players. You see how that growth pattern is going. And if you see a plateau, guys do plateau. I mean, everybody does. At some point, is that good enough? Is where this player is at, is this going to help us win? And then you look at how that compares to what we're paying him. That's how this whole thing works, at least in my opinion. So when you can look at the Bucks, you can look at whatever sport you're in. The reason these big contracts come out is because you think this person is going to continue to get better. You don't pay on past performance. The organizations that pay on past performance are the ones that fall into big trouble. And you can make an argument that the Bucks did that. The Green Bay Packers try not to do that. They try and prognosticate. You think they had any problem paying Micah Parsons because they knew he's just getting into it. Jordan Love, he's getting better. He's getting into it. Keyshawn Nixon is going to be a case where it's going to be a little more of an interesting case study, how he's approaching it. So potential is great, but I always tell you potential gets coaches fired. If you're always waiting for a player to show their potential and it's always, well, let's wait another year, you're probably going to run out of time.
We'll get to Rob's 2 remaining lingering questions for the Packers ahead of training camp starting in about a month from ESPN.com coming up next. First, Tausch is going to tell us about Annex Wealth Management.
Well, what life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding or a surprise party. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events. But planning for them can make all the difference in the world. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
The 2 remaining lingering questions for the Green Bay Packers ahead of training camp. We'll get to those coming up next. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-583-1299. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-583-1299. That's 800-583-1299.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
Hey, better. Swing into Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee for the $300,000 Big League Series. Just play with your rewards card over 3 months to earn entries. Here's the lineup. Leading off April, on deck May, in the hole June. All monthly entries you earn will roll into drawings on Friday, June 26th, where you could win cash, free play, or one of 3 new Toyota vehicles. It's the $300,000 Big League Series, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Don't let summer pass you by. Turn it all the way up at Summerfest. The music, the moments, the memories you'll replay all year long. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance, June 18th through July 4th. Get tickets now at summerfest.com.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch. Talking Packers, Rob Demovsky's article over at ESPN.com, the 4 lingering questions for the Green Bay Packers ahead of training camp starting in about a month. We'll get back to Bucks with Justin Garcia, the Bucks radio network, scheduled to appear coming up next. Big week for the Giannis trade, the draft, and now the future of the Milwaukee Bucks organization. So we've covered 2 questions. Number 1, who's healthy? Number 2, where's the pass rush for the Green Bay Packers? Question number 3 from Rob Demovsky. Is Marshawn Lloyd finally full go?
No.
We've spent a little time, well, you and Jason have, talking about Marshawn Lloyd this offseason. Jason shared his observations from the OTAs and minicamp practice a couple of weeks ago. We're hoping that Marshawn Lloyd is able to stay healthy. Obviously, the questions as the investigation continues around Josh Jacobs certainly impacts how we look at this, heading into the 2026 season as well. But in general, Marshawn Lloyd, who has been unable to stay healthy, he's just been injury-ridden in so many different ways through his first 3 seasons. Rob asks, is he finally full go, and what would he look like in the Packers offense if he sees significant playing time?
So I think it's awesome if he can stay healthy, and we saw, a small glimpse of his explosiveness. And, I know Jason, when he was up at practice, mentioned how explosive and quick he is. He's a home run hitter. That stuff is all great, and it's great to have talent, but you have to be able to be out there and do it, at least in some way, shape, or form. And unfortunately, if he is somebody that you're going to count a lot on, I think you're going to end up being disappointed. And I know that doesn't sound fair, and I hope that that is not the case, but that's where you're at throughout his first couple of seasons in the NFL. So I love his talent. I think he was drafted for a reason. He was brought in here. They want to utilize him. We saw that. I think it was in the Colts game. And if you're banking on any of that, it's really tough. It's really tough to expect anything more than that. It's a cherry on top of the cake, if you will.
Then the final question from Rob Demovsky at ESPN.com for the Packers ahead of training camp 2026. Can they finish?
That is really the question.
I'd like to say something about this question.
Go for it.
I don't think that anyone will be satisfied with the answer to this question until there's a close game in the playoffs. I don't think there's anything that can happen in the regular season that Green Bay Packers fans, me included, would say, yes, now they are for sure better at finishing games than they were last year.
I think if you're talking about that first Bears game, and it's a tight game and Green Bay gets over the hump and finishes it, I think that will be a good starting stone because it can't just be, well, we're finishing drills and now we're expecting to do this. You need to build it. It doesn't just magically happen. You blow teams out. You'll hear this all the time in college basketball, some of the big boy schools and maybe smaller conferences. Well, UNLV is a great example, and I know you probably weren't around for this.
I was a little young. Yeah.
UNLV has a season they slaughter everybody. They had just beaten Duke the year before, and there's something about testing yourself throughout a season and having some close games. And the belief that players have after they see and feel and go through the process, and all of a sudden you start believing that you're going to find a way. New York just wins a world championship. They did that. They continued to never doubt that, hey, we're down 28 points. We'll figure it out. There's a different mentality that you need to build. You have to get calluses on your hands. You can't just go out and think you're going to put a bunch of fence posts in. You're going to work all day. And everything's going to be. No, you have to go through that process. You got to callus up. You're going to have some tough losses. But once you start finding ways to win them, you'll believe you'll win all of them. And having that belief and not having the, oh, God, here we go again attitude, that's what needs to change. Because I'm certain there's probably guys, and they'll never admit it, there's probably some guys that once that snowball started rolling in that Bear playoff game, oh, boy, here we go again. And unfortunately, that is what happened.
I believe everything you're saying. I think you're saying it from the lens of a Packers Hall of Fame player, and you're thinking about the player's belief in that. Tucker Kraft saying you have to talk it into existence. You have to practice being able to finish. I think players on the Green Bay Packers may have the confidence that they're going to be better at finishing games this year going into this. I'm saying from the view of the fans. From the view of the fan, I don't think that, and that's what I said. I don't think there's anything that Packers fans will see during the regular season until there's a close win in a playoff game that'll make us feel better about the Packers winning and finishing a close game in the postseason.
And I would disagree in the fact that I think fans start believing when they see it too. And if the Green Bay Packers struggle, they lose a game to the Cleveland Browns, they don't know what they're doing at the end of a Cowboys game and they end up in a tie, that starts building it. Just on the flip side of that, all of a sudden, hey, we play an ugly game, but we find a way to go beat the New York Jets. We go down and we play the Dallas Cowboys, and it's a back-and-forth battle, but we manage the clock and we showcase, hey, this is different. This team isn't last year's team. Once you start getting that, the players' belief goes to the fans as well. Players start believing and showing that it works. Fans start believing when they see the results.
I think it's a little bit different than what you're describing. I think fans want to see blowouts to believe that a team can finish. The Packers were up they were up 21-3 on the Bears. If they win that game 35-10, well, they kept their foot on the gas in the second half. They finished it easily. That's what we haven't seen.
I understand that, but that's not the reality of today's NFL. The NFL is going to be decided by most of your games are going to be 7 points or less. That's why the point spreads are the way they are. And it's the teams that believe that they can pull it off and have the capabilities of doing it with a great quarterback, with a defense that can close up shop, with a kicker that will make kicks. Those are the things that you're looking for. And having that belief that if you're down 10 in the fourth quarter, oh, we have to do something great. No, we just have to go about our business, stick with it. Because as Bill Belichick always said, and I think one of the reasons the Patriots were so good throughout all those years was, we're not beating ourselves. So many teams beat themselves that they give you wins. You have to be ready to take it. You can't just sit back, but you have to stick with your plan. You have to execute it. And when you do that, that belief starts, you start getting more and more buy-in. And the hardest thing to do in an NFL locker room is getting 53 guys to buy into the belief that their role is important and that they can find ways to win within those roles. Because that's a hard thing to do in this league.
Those are Rob Demovsky's 4 lingering questions for the Green Bay Packers heading into training camp 1 month from this week up in Titletown. You can check out the full article and read it wherever you like to do your reading on the ESPN app and at ESPN.com. Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network is coming up next. Before we get to that, Tausch is going to tell us about Steinhafels.
Well, the Steinhafels 4th of July mattress sale is on now. This is your chance to save big. Get up to $1,000 off Beauty Rest adjustable base sets. Go all in on luxury with Beauty Rest Black and score $300 in Steinhafels cash. Take advantage of 60-month zero special financing. Plus, test Rest a Beauty Rest Black, and you'll receive a $25 gas card. Everybody could use that right now. Hurry in today or shop anywhere, anytime online at steinhafels.com. And as always, relax. It's Steinhafels.
Back to talking Bucks with Justin Garcia, our Bucks buddy of the Bucks Radio Network. That's coming up next. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Shop the Pig. The heart of this country is local. It's neighbors looking out for neighbors. It's small businesses that know your name. At Piggly Wiggly, the people who run your store live right here, right alongside you. And when you shop with us, every dollar stays in the community we all call home. Stop in today and see the difference shopping local really makes. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Big trucks can be intimidating. If you've been seriously injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. You don't want to take on the insurance company alone. Gruber Law Offices has the experience, the resources, and of course, the results. We know truck law. We know the rules and regulations. We know what it takes to win. Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Homer here. I've been on this journey since January and have already lost 27 pounds and on my way to at least 30. What I love most is how safe and easy this program has been. No complicated plans, just real results that fit into everyday life. If you've been looking for a weight loss program that really works, this is it. For a limited time, get $200 off with our summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
As we celebrate Independence Day in 250 years of American freedom, there's never been a better time to invest in the place you call home. Maybe it's that roof you've been meaning to replace, those drafty windows you've learned to live with, or that bathroom you've wanted to update for years. Whatever project you've been putting off, Exterior Pros and Baths can help. This Independence Day, you can save up to $3,000 on your next project. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Busy week for the Milwaukee Bucks. You may have heard. We've talked plenty about it, and now to talk more about it and share his insights on all things Milwaukee Bucks, including the future of the franchise, it is our Bucks buddy, Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network and 620
You think
WTMJ.
Justin would like to have a surprise party thrown for him?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Either.
You seem very anti-surprise party.
I had one somewhat recently, like 2 years ago. I don't hate it. It's not my preferred.
If someone leaked to you, if Shams leaked to you that a surprise party was going to be thrown in your honor, would you ghost the entire party and not show up to it?
Are you going somewhere with that?
Yeah, Tausch's buddy Stud Rocker did that earlier this week. We talked about it a little earlier in the show. He got wind of a surprise party being thrown in his honor and ghosted everybody and never went to the party.
So even I'm not that rude. I wouldn't go that far. In the case of my surprise party, I had a feeling it was a surprise party, but I thought it was going to be something completely different and a combined for somebody else in the family who has a birthday around the same time. So I went in preparing for that and that crowd. So I was like half right. I was still not disappointed, but still like, I would rather, could you just give me a heads up and allow me to have a plan in planning this out than just, oh, great, surprise party. I'm so excited. Oh, perfect. We have this.
So JG's a little bit of a control freak. Is that what I'm understanding?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go. I think that's the outlier on that. All right, Justin, can you break down? I'm sure you've read the article in the Journal Sentinel. You are at all these games. You've seen all of this unfolding. You've heard all the rumors, and I think Bucks fans were so sick and tired of hearing from Shams about Giannis wanted out, and it turns out for about a year now that does seem to, in fact, be the case. What's your overarching kind of thoughts about what's transpired over the last 2 years?
I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise what you just touched on, and I think I mentioned it on this show and other places too. Like, it's not. I get we want to be protective over this whole belief that ESPN is coming to get our stars, and it has kind of started to begin in Minnesota with Anthony Edwards and some of the reporting that came out the past couple of days. But it's not completely fabricated and made up. There is at least a kernel of truth to almost all of this. And a lot of it, you know, as we have learned throughout the years and obviously in the writing and the piece in the Journal Sentinel. But I don't think either party comes away looking great and saying, I feel good about how this ended and that it certainly was not my fault for it. Like I've said all along, both parties should be assigned blame here, that you let it get to this point. And it's just sad that you had the player that is, for his time in a Bucks uniform, the greatest player in franchise history, that led you to one of your 2 championships, that embraced the community, that really you could go as far as saying whether or not he truly saved Bucks basketball. he pumped more life into it than anyone when you think about the state of where the team was, the uncertainty just prior to his ascension over will this team even be in Milwaukee anymore. The Bradley Center, you need a new home there. You end up getting a new arena, an entire district that's built around the arena. Your ticket sales explode. You're all of a sudden starting to get tourism dollars and jersey sales and things that weren't there before. That a lot of these things don't happen without him. So to see it fracture and get to this point where, eventually this was probably going to come, that we all kind of age out of this and you reach a point where it's best for both parties to move in separate directions. We were probably there for at least a year. The unfortunate part is it doesn't feel like both parties came in head on and aligned to that it was just one side doing something else, the other reacting to it, and vice versa, that just led us to say, okay, it's over. Let's move on from this.
Yeah, and do you think, again, I'm not going to ask you to assign blame. I'm putting it on the ownership and Giannis in about an even manner, because Giannis, I think, did not want to be the bad guy. I think he saw and understood where this was headed and probably could have been more upfront with what he was looking for and wanted. He didn't, and I just think that's maybe a sign of immaturity. And is that, how would you look at it from Giannis's perspective? Because he obviously wants to win a championship. I think he loved his time in Milwaukee, but he realized that it was not going in the right direction. Instead of coming out and saying, the report on the New York, I know we had you on last year when the New York stuff came up, and then obviously the way this season played out, this could have been handled so much better, but unfortunately the lines of communication just never opened up.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the takeaway from both sides, that it could have been handled differently and better, and I agree in what at least it seems like. I don't want to speak for him, but what it seems like on Giannis's end, how he wanted to approach this in terms of the optics, that, look, I don't want to be viewed as the next Kareem that I also asked out, and how much I've talked about my connection to the city and the states and the community and fans. Like, I don't want to be the next superstar that all of a sudden rushes off somewhere else and asks for a trade. So I don't want it framed that way. Anything we can do to prevent that. I get on the one hand why, if that is what his thought process was, why you would want to go down that route. But I would also say, I mean, if that is it, I think it was just mishandled from the start, because the reality is, a lot of these fans are Giannis fans first. When you think about where the Bucks fan base was, that he brought them along, that this was not your next great hope. It was 50 years for that, right? It was, for many people, your first great hope of things can be different because of this guy. And so I'm a Bucks fan. I'm a Giannis fan. He plays for the Bucks. I also like the Bucks, but Giannis is the guy that got me into it. Having said that, I still think that the general consensus that I've gotten from a lot of fans and hearing from others too is we don't care. We love you, Giannis, and we're grateful for what you brought here. If the messaging would have been, look, we've tried everything that we can. We did the Dame trade. We did other trades to free up some financial flexibility. Unfortunately, it feels like we are in a 3-year or possibly 4-year stretch where everything we tried, none of it worked. But, we tried. We didn't sit on our hands and tell us, trust us. We're building to something here. We tried everything we could, and it didn't work. So it is probably time for both of us, if that's the messaging that comes out even from Giannis, of I know my time is limited. I still want to compete for championships, and I think it's best for the team to try to find the next guy that can help them get there. It's best for both of us to go in separate directions. I don't think he's met as a villain, right?
No,
I think
agree.
That's the tough part of how this whole last year went.
Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline on Wilde Tausch. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, now officially in Wisconsin. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Justin, as I was reading Jim Owczarski's article, I was thinking, okay, where was the actual turning point in all of this. And I thought, well, okay, maybe it's when Chris got hurt here in the postseason. Oh, maybe it's when the hot potato game, as Tausch describes it, against the Heat, and then Bud gets fired. Oh, maybe it's actually when they traded for Dan. Oh, maybe it's when they hired Doc. To you, what was the turning point for where this kind of turned from the golden age of Bucks basketball to something else?
I mean, I guess there's a couple areas you could look at. I mean, when you made the Damian Lillard trade, you knew this is totally different, right? I mean, we all were very optimistic, and you finally had this superstar pairing of Giannis and Dame. But the quiet part that I think a lot of us, maybe you were cognizant of it when it first happened, but you didn't really want to spend too much time on it, was, well, haven't we seen a lot of these not work out? Like, haven't super teams not really yielded the results that you would expect? And it's, well, it's Giannis and it's Dame. It's two all-time great top 75 players. They'll surely make a way or figure out a way to make this work. And it didn't. And it started right as the league was shifting towards what the league is now. The CBA wasn't fully in place then, or at least the ramifications of how much it's changed. But, it was the last year before all of that started to go into effect, and how much it just, you cannot be a top-heavy team. You have to have youth and depth, and the Bucks are moving away from that. They moved away from their identity with that trade too, that, we think about Giannis and fast break and the 30-point-per-game score, but this was a defensive team that won because of Drew Holiday's point-of-attack defense, Brook Lopez manning the back, capable help defenders and guys that could hold their own on the perimeter, and then Giannis was the best player in the world. And now you shifted towards defense. We'll figure it out, but we got Giannis and Dame, so we're just going to have to try and outscore players and hope that they stay healthy. So that was probably the biggest change in everything, but the reality is it did probably start with that Miami series where you were one of 6 teams to lose as a 1 seed in the first round. And you were the only one of those 6 teams that fired their coach immediately afterwards. Stuff that came out in there too, of whether or not it was time to move on from Bud. I think the one thing that gets lost in all of it is we can pick apart and criticize some of the adjustments and tactical things that we started to see kind of fray towards the end with Mike Budenholzer. But he built that culture. He established the identity, and he had an entire locker room that bought into it and was on the same page. And you had to be aware, okay, there's going to be some ramifications. There could be a step backward in some of these areas if we move on from this. So how are we going to combat that? What are we looking for in terms of our next leader? And if we are saying we still believe we're a championship contending team, that's the toughest part, is if that's how you're moving forward, does it make sense to hire a first-time head coach who had some question marks? Or should that have been the signal to say, let's start to reload here, and knowing we might take a step back for a year or two. We still have Giannis. We're going to continue to tinker and build around him, that 2 years from now, we're right back to where we were now. And they just never really picked a lane in those two areas. So I think a lot of it stems back to the spring of 2023.
Yeah, and the Doc Rivers part of this, I mean, that from this article, that was, if you're Doc, you're not reading that article.
I would imagine he has not read the article or has no interest in combing through and finding the details in it.
It didn't work, right? I mean, you could say I've said it was just a disaster. I'm not going to ask you to say that, but the entire culture that you just mentioned about from Bud, and then the misstep, even though with Griffin as the coach, it was the record was good, but nobody was really believing that the process was working. And then Doc came in, and it just feels like the whole thing was a complete and utter disaster.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you know what the questions are surrounding Doc. And like, Doc's not the only coach, but there's a handful of those coaches that they have the wins, they have a championship, they have a pedigree, but there are some, well, be careful for this or look out for this. So like, we went in eyes wide open. I think all of us, at least you should have, to know if something would go off the rails. These are the things that we've seen it historically be. But I was optimistic with that hire because it was clear the Adrian Griffin hire did not work. And you needed an experienced coach at the helm to work with what was still a veteran team and guys that are going to buy into that voice. And, not guys where you've lost them from basically a week into the season when they're questioning some of the strategies and your tactical approaches and saying, look, we're just going to take control of this and we're going to run the defense this way. It's over from that point forward. I mean, I think you could speak to that better than anyone, Tausch, being in a professional locker room. The moment you don't think that guy knows what he's talking about, there's no recovering from that when you're that coach. So I came in eyes wide open, but I was optimistic because I thought he's at least a veteran. He's a guy that, whatever you want to say about Doc Rivers, he is revered by quite a few players throughout the league. We can look at the types of, J.J. Redick's and a few other players who've been outspoken, but there's a lot more guys that don't feel that way about Doc Rivers. Rajon Rondo got into coaching because of Doc Rivers. Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce still love him. Lou Williams and players with the Clippers, the way that they talk about Doc Rivers, he's revered by a lot of his players. And I think the one thing, Tyrese Maxey's another one, the one thing that you looked at and said, well, I understand why it hasn't worked in the past and where it hasn't worked, but I think it can work here because of this, is this was really the one spot where Doc stepped in and had, at the time, not a whole lot of drama and like adults in the room that you thought, well, there's never been any of this with this group, with Giannis, with Brooke Lopez. You've never heard any of it with Dame. So that's why I think this will be different. And, why it was, I don't think we have all the details on that, but it just wasn't different. And it ultimately led us to where we are now.
I think we got more than enough details on why some of that didn't work. But last thing for me, JG, appreciate your time. What do you make of what Milwaukee got back? Why should Bucks fans – I know there's going to be a lot of angst about losing Giannis and this new era that's going to be started, but what did you make of the haul that the Bucks got back?
Well, let me preface with my usual with the haul that the Bucks reportedly got back is no trade can become official.
Oh yeah, I got to make sure I know you're officially official. Yep.
So who knows? Maybe this whole thing doesn't go through. When it was initially starting to leak out, I was of the mind that I was very intrigued by the Celtics offer. As long as you got more than like a single pick and a player like Jaylen Brown, that he was going to help you immensely. He was going to help you stay competitive. I still don't know the direction that the team wants to go in. They have everything is on the table now. Like they could say, we're going to try and be competitive, or they could say our picks are gone, or at least we don't control them for the next 3 years. And by the way, with the lottery reform and the changes to it, I don't think it's as dire as a lot of people are saying with like, well, you can't be, you're not going to tank per se, but like you can't be that bad anymore because you don't have your picks. Well, yeah, but also this is a lottery now. It's no longer, well, these three teams have 15% odds and the rest of them, it starts to drop. Every one of those teams in that range has an 8% chance. And the bottom three records, like if the Bucks fall into there, it's Portland that's getting penalized. It's not the Bucks that are getting penalized. So I do think that is still on the table. If you want to say we can approach these 2 years and just say asset accumulation, we got a $25 million trade exception. You can't combine those with players. It's literally we can take back a player that's making $25 million or less. So we can use that to say, do you got a contract that, a team like Denver who doesn't want to pay the tax and is looking to shed some money, like, hey, you want to give up one of your players, we'll take it, but you're going to have to flip up some draft picks. Other contracts that are expiring, like Kyle Kuzma's on $20 million that's done after this year. We'll take back longer contracts. You're going to have to flip us some contract or some draft picks if that's what you want to do. So they can do that and say we're just starting to stockpile all these assets, because once you get to 2030, you're in a good spot. You got a swap from Miami, and you already had a swap with Portland. So what that means is between the Bucks, the Blazers, and the Heat, the Bucks will get the middle pick, the Blazers will get the best pick, and the Heat will get the worst pick. So you have a pick in 2030, and then 2031 is when those Heat first rounders start to kick in and you have all of yours back. So you will be made whole by 2030. What can you do to develop players leading into that and continue to accumulate assets is the big thing. But if you want to remain competitive and say, look, we have to stay competitive, we have to have something to sell fans on and get people in the building, I get that. And this package will allow you to do that, especially with the 2 young draft picks and a coach that has worked wonders in developing talent and getting teams there rather quickly when Taylor Jenkins went to Memphis in 2019. So I do think they can be a competitive team if that's the route they want to go, with the mid-level exception this summer as well, and a biannual, other trades you can make. I just don't know, and I don't have a sense on which of those 2 routes they want to take. Tyler Hero could obviously help you win games, or he could bring you in more draft picks and assets. Jaime Jaquez was the runner-up for 6th Man of the Year last year. He's a great basketball IQ, good size, plays a position the Bucks don't have either at small forward, so he's going to help you win games. The wild cards are Kalel Ware and Kasparis Yakachonis, as they were both recent first-round picks. Yakachonis just outside of the lottery. Ware was a lottery pick. He is a stretch big, similar to Miles Turner. He's not a great rim protector, but he is a great three-point shooter and was very highly decorated at Indiana and Oregon and coming out of high school. So there is something there. Can you continue to develop it? I think Yakachonis is really the most intriguing of those guys. You still have 3 years of control for him. Very cheap contract. Would have been, was thought to be a top 10 pick last year before some injuries took place. So there's a lot of youth on this team now, and there's a lot of rookie scale contracts. So it's no longer they're up against this apron or they're in the tax. Like, you don't have to worry about any of that. And you've brought a lot of young bodies into the room. And that's what you need in this league. You do need superstars, but you need depth and you need youth because of the play style that you're going to have to play to be competitive. So I think both avenues are open to the Bucks. Like, not to say they're going to be a top 4 team with the current makeup of this roster, but with, an identity and with a coach like Taylor Jenkins and a lot of young talent now, I do think they will be a competitive team. Whether or not that translates to wins, it doesn't have to, right? Like, that was the message at Jenkins hiring is you're going to be proud to watch us. We're going to be a competitive team. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win games. And I don't think you have to. Like, I think that's what fans want to see is just a team to those points. They're proud to watch. And when I turn them on, I know this team's going to fight and it's going to be an entertaining watch in that sense. So it is different optics and it's different expectations from where it was, but it was going to come eventually. And I do think there's enough of the young talent that it's at least set you up on the right path here for the next couple of years.
Last one, Justin. Amazing insight as always. Who do you think is actually happiest that all of this is now over? Is it Shams? Is it Giannis himself? Is it John Horst? Like, who's happiest that this thing has finally come to an end?
It's Justin. JG?
Well, I mean, I would much. I don't know if I'd say I'm happy because look, Giannis makes people like me culturally relevant in this state. That there's that interest that's there, and that's something that's going to be tough to replace. But not to give like a cop-out answer, I think everybody is happiest because I can tell you it wore on everyone, top to bottom, in the organization. Giannis as well, his teammates. It's a disappointment, but it is a bit of a sense of relief to say, okay, that's at least over with. And, now the hard part starts, that now we got to figure out, number one, which path are we going to take? And we got to get to work on building the roster, improving the roster, and getting us back to the spot where we were in 2015, 16, where that was when Giannis was starting to show some signs of this guy's definitely going to be like an all-star caliber player. And then it was, he's an all-NBA caliber. And eventually within 2 years of that, MVP caliber player. And you had a lot of nice young pieces that fit. That, hey, there's reasons to be excitement. Now we know this is what we're working towards, and we can get to work on that. And how do we lay the groundwork for this to happen again, not this year, but within the next couple of years.
Justin Garcia joining us on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. Always a pleasure, Justin, even under these circumstances. Thank you for the insights, and we look forward to the future of the Milwaukee Bucks, which I'm sure when Jason returns, we will have you on again sometime soon and talk about a little more positively what's next for the franchise moving forward into 2026, 27, and beyond. Thank you, Justin.
All right. See you.
Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network. He's our Bucks buddy, and he joins us on the Yuengling guest hotline. A lot of great insights from JG. We will recap everything that he shared with us coming up next. It's Jesse and Tausch on Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen.
The Knicks are the ultimate example of we just want to be together, all of us, and we want to do this thing together. They all found a home there, and I think many of these players are trying to find a home there. Davion Mitchell, point guard, top 10 pick in the draft. Norm Powell, all-star. Andrew Wiggins, champion, all-star, number 1 pick in the draft. Bam, obviously, all-star, lottery pick. Giannis, Hall of Famer. Based on that, do you want to be together? Do you want to be like Bridges and Cat and Brunson, who led the way, obviously, with taking a little bit less? That's the model now. The team that I root for that just got Giannis is not the model anymore. What they're trying to do is catch up to the model, which is the Knicks. Are some of these guys now going to take advantage of joining Giannis and Bam, which means I don't have to play great defense because those guys are behind me to take a little bit less? It's an unfair ask, but that is probably what's going to happen now.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000. Use code BALANCE to borrow up to $10,000.
Clutter piling up? Take a breath. Badgerland Junk is here to help. Based in Milwaukee, they make cleanouts simple, fast, and stress-free. From single item pickups to full estate cleanouts, their team does the heavy lifting so you don't have to. Homeowners and property managers, this is your solution. Furniture, appliances, yard debris, even commercial cleanouts. They do it all with clear upfront pricing and no hidden fees. Serving Milwaukee and the entire metro area, visit BadgerlandJunk.com. Badgerland Junk, your trusted cleanout experts.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855-PELLA-WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
to Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network for joining us here on Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch today. Jason is off. He will be back with us tomorrow. I mean, you just keep learning more and more, Tausch, about the fallout of the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo and the golden age of Bucks basketball. I think Justin summarized it pretty well at the end, though, saying, I was curious how he would answer who's happiest. Everybody's kind of, in a way, happy that we're all able to move on.
I don't think Bucks fans are happy. I think they're relieved.
I think some are.
They're done. No, I think everybody's just done with it. And that's back to your initial point of apathy, and you don't want that. So now, hopefully, there's 2 top 13 picks. A lot of pressure for those cats to be good. And to start at least seeing, we all understand what the next couple of years are going to look like. We just want to see some growth. We want to see some guys playing hard. We want to see that youthfulness. And I think we're all okay with that. But as far as everybody feels happy about it, no, I don't think anybody. I know Giannis is out there with Bam and doing all. He should be excited about his new opportunity with Miami. But the way this all ended, I don't think anybody's happy about it.
Thanks again to Justin Garcia for joining us. If you missed any of the conversation, you can find it available soon on the ESPN Wisconsin app, of course, on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. You can also find all of our conversations all week long reacting to the Giannis news from all of our different shows, including our breaking news coverage on Tuesday on the ESPN Wisconsin app. And maybe you can do so, Tausch, while you're catching up this weekend, while you're sitting outside on your beautiful space from Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Well, we have chosen Outdoor Living Unlimited to help build our new outdoor project. When we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, brothers and owners of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values. Love the fact that Outdoor Living Unlimited is a family-owned and locally operated company. Their showroom is a must-see right here in Madison, out off of Stoughton Road. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, or more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space. Again, check them out, OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Still to come in the 11 o'clock hour, the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions matchup this week. That's presented by Events by Design. And I've got a couple of Brewers nuggets I want to give you before we get to that. Since I'm hosting the show today, I want to talk Brewers for at least a couple of minutes.
Big sweep last night.
We're going to get to it coming up in 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch coming up next.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
This 4th of July, crack open something made for the red, white, and blissful. The new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety 8-pack is here just in time for America's 250th birthday, featuring 4 nostalgic flavors: strawberry, cherry, grape, and apple. It's the taste of backyard barbecues, fireworks at dusk, and long summer weekends packed into every can. This Independence Day, bring the nostalgia and bring the bliss with the new Americana Backyard Bliss Variety Pack from Carbliss. Available now at your local retailer or online at drinkcarbliss.com.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee-free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
You've spent hours researching peptides, reading, listening, scrolling, and you're probably still wondering, are peptides right for me? The internet can tell you a lot about peptides. It just can't tell you what's right for you. That's a whole different conversation. One we've been having since 2014. More than 10,000 patients. Mentality. The first of its kind is still the best of its kind. Right now, all new patients receive a free consultation plus 10% off treatment. Book your appointment at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. Jesse and Tausch today. Jason has the day off. He will return tomorrow. Fear not, good people. He will be back. But in the meantime, we're holding it down. Thanks again to Justin Garcia of the Bucks Radio Network joining us in the 10 o'clock hour. If you missed any of today's show, find it on the ESPN Wisconsin app, the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. Subscribe to those channels as well. You get notified every time we go live, get our bonus content, all the great stuff from the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. We do have our Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions coming up next, presented by Events by Design. Big matchup today. Sparky in Sussex against Tyler in Illinois from the Bus family.
Oh, yeah.
So big matchup coming up in our Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, part of our 10th anniversary presented by Steinhoffels. That's coming up next. Before we get to that, I did want to dedicate at least just a couple of minutes to the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay. They definitely deserve it.
49-29 after a sweep of the Cincinnati Reds. The Crew off today before starting a big series at home against the Chicago Cubs tomorrow night at American Family Field. And a programming note for that, 6:45 first pitch tomorrow night on Apple TV. Apple TV Plus to watch Miz at home against the Cubs.
But if we have
Brewers.com,
Brewers.com, it'll still count. We'll still be able to watch it.
It is not on local TV. It is only on Apple TV Plus.
No, but if we've got Brewers.com, we'll be able to watch it.
No.
Why?
This is a national TV. Apple TV has the exclusive rights to the game. So you will, to my knowledge, you will not be able to get it unless it's on Apple TV.
We'll have to look into that because I thought when you got Brewers.com, you get all the games.
I'll double check. Apple TV Plus tomorrow night for the game if you're looking to watch it. Of course, you can always listen to it on 620 WTMJ and 100.5 ESPN. Madison and Milwaukee's home for the Milwaukee Brewers. Okay, 3 nuggets I want to give you on the Milwaukee Brewers, Tausch, because I know not everybody catches them every night like I tend to do. So I'm going to give you 3 nuggets on the Milwaukee Brewers. Tell me which one's most impressive. Number 1, the Milwaukee Brewers have set a franchise record 10 straight wins against NL Central opponents. They have swept the Reds, the Cubs, and the Cardinals in each of their last 3 division series. They also had a win against the Cardinals in St. Louis. I like the music from producer Owen.
Old school.
10 in a row against the NL Central. Chance to make it 13.
Very impressive.
Number 2, the Milwaukee Brewers are 49-29 here on June 25th, 2026. 20 games over 500 on this date last year when they set a franchise record for wins in a single season and finished as the best record in the regular season in Major League Baseball. The Brewers were 45-36.
Wow.
They are 20 games over 500 today. They were 9 games over 500 on this day last year.
Well, you were having a conversation. Was that last year?
That was last year. We thought about when to have the conversation.
Oh, you thought about having
we did not
a
have the
conversation.
conversation. We thought about when.
I don't think anyone anticipated. Obviously, trading Peralta, you're always kind of curious about what that team's makeup is going to be. And I don't think anyone envisioned this kind of a start for a team that had an unbelievable regular season last year. The Milwaukee Brewers know what they're doing.
They certainly do, and it's a large credit to the pitching factory throughout their developmental system, which brings me to my third and final Brewers nugget. This one comes courtesy of Codify Baseball on X.
Not sure I appreciate your hand gestures to me, but yeah.
The last 3 major league pitchers with 10 or more strikeouts, no walks, and 1 or fewer hit allowed in a game: Jacob Misiorowski, Brandon Woodruff, and Brandon Sproat, all of the Milwaukee Brewers, all since June 12th.
Pretty impressive. I'd say that probably is the one that's pretty... all of those nuggets, as you put them, very intriguing. But when you have a team that is playing at the level that they're playing at, you wonder why. And I do agree with you. I think the starting pitching, I don't know anybody. When we traded our best pitcher, the most consistent pitcher, here we are. The trades that have been made, and obviously Miz making that huge jump, has been everything to this team. So the pitching, how they go about doing it, their secret sauce, whatever it is, keep it rolling, because the Milwaukee Brewers, this isn't some fluky, oh my God, just really good. And they have been for a while.
3 amazing nuggets about the 2026 Milwaukee Brewers. Bryce Terang was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday. We got to get him to start the All-Star game. Vote Brewers. And he was saying, like, yeah, when your starting pitchers are striking out the world, of course you're going to have the belief that you're going to win almost every game. But that's the way it's felt. 10 strikeouts for each of these guys since June 12th. Miz is great every time.
I was a little nervous.
Harrison
I got home and watched the end of last night's game, and Owen in his sports center. What was the guy that closed up shop last night?
Kunal. Joel Kunal.
He was laboring.
Yeah, he's not supposed to be closing
I love the
games.
fact they just said, hey, this is what we're going with today. Our bullpen is spent. We've used it up in the first 2. Here we go. And, he walked a guy. It was, I think he walked De La Cruz. And you started thinking, oh, boy, this is still going to be a heck of a series. But this team just found a way to do it. And then Pratt kind of does a little bobble job and gets it
tight
off. The whole thing, they found a way to get it done, which is what we're always looking for.
So good. And they get the Cubs tomorrow night at American Family Field on Apple TV+. And maybe on your Brewer subscription, but I don't think so. Time now for our next edition of the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. Sparky in Sussex, Tyler in Illinois. They will square off in the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions.
This is going to be our first tie. I think we're going to need a tiebreaker for this one.
It's presented by Events by Design. That's a bold call by you. They don't know how to set the line for this one because Tyler Buss, we don't keep track of his stats because he's ineligible to win our prize packs because when he plays, he's from Illinois. He's out of state, not eligible. So we don't know how to set the line for this one. It should be a tight contest between these two foes. The Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design is coming up next. But first, Tausch is going to tell us about Hard Rock Casino
Hard Rock
Rockford.
Casino Rockford is also out of state, but it's right down the road off of I-90 in Rockford, Illinois, about 60 minutes or less from the greater Madison area. And Hard Rock Casino Rockford offers the most generous and frequent promotions of any casino in the Midwest. And we have a great 4th of July promotion. Join the Hard Rock Casino Rockford for the 4th of July weekend for the Let Freedom Ride giveaway. It's high-powered excitement with your chance to win one of 3 premium rides, Can-Am Outlander, Can-Am Defender, or a Sea-Doo Spark Tricks. From rugged off-road adventures to heart-pounding water thrills, Independence Day has never felt this good. Unity members can earn entries through July 5th with drawings on July 3rd, 4th, and 5th at 9 p.m. Check out the full rules at casino.hardrock.com. Play, dine, and shop. Enjoy live shows, and, of course, that great sports book. Hard Rock Casino Rockford, a premier entertainment destination just off I-90 in Rockford, Illinois.
The Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions continues next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
You may know someone with multiple sclerosis, but you may not know what their day-to-day reality is really like. MS affects nearly 1 million people in the U.S., impacting far more than mobility. MS can affect vision, thinking, energy, in daily life, often in ways others don't see or understand. This MS Awareness Week, take a moment to learn more, share what you learn, and be a champion for people living with MS. Learn more at nationalmssociety.org/awareness.
From office lunches to family celebrations, Cousin Subs has the crowd-pleasing catering you need. Choose from customizable party boxes, individual box lunches, fresh-baked cookies, and our classic party chips. Everything you need to satisfy any size group, big or small. Ordering is easy online or on the Cousins app, so you can focus on the fun, not the food. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Brewers Cubs action on a weekend? Yeah, you're gonna want to see this. Be here Friday, June 26th through Sunday, June 28th for the first matchup between the Brewers and Cubs at American Family Field of 2026. You know what happened last time, and it's time to defend home field once again. One thing's for sure, big moments are bound to happen. Score your seat for another chapter in the Brewers-Cubs rivalry now at Brewers.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. And beer fans, we've got something to cheer about. Michelob Ultra is the official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026. So whether you call it soccer or football, it's time to get your game plan ready as the world's largest soccer tournament returns to the USA. Stop by Discount Liquor to pick up a 12-pack of Michelob Ultra and score a free Michelob Ultra soccer koozie. At Discount Liquor, we stock over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, spirits, THCA, and non-alcoholic beverages, all at the lowest prices in town. From craft brews to hard-to-find whiskeys, we've got a lineup for you. So don't get caught off sides with an empty fridge. Stop into Discount Liquor and stock up before kickoff. Visit us in Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma or in downtown Waukesha at Barstow and Maine.
Discount Liquor.
Vortex Golf makes rangefinders for serious golfers who need an accurate number every time. With 3 options, the Blade, Blade Slope, and Anarch, there's a Vortex rangefinder that fits your game. Crystal clear optics and features like image stabilization keep you steady in big moments. Plus, every Vortex Golf product is backed by a no-questions-asked lifetime warranty. If you're looking for an accurate number every time, Vortex Golf belongs on your bag. Grab yours and everything you need for golf season in Wisconsin at Shields.com.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Your grill just got an upgrade, and it's right down the road.
Burn Pit BBQ is now available at Walmart.
That means no waiting, no guessing. Just grab it, fire up the grill, and get to work.
We're talking premium rubs, sauces, and seasonings made for real flavor and real results.
Every single time you cook.
Whether it's a quick weeknight dinner or a full weekend cookout with friends and family, Burn Pit BBQ helps you bring bold, consistent flavor to every bite.
Head to your local Walmart and find Burn Pit BBQ today, right in your neighborhood.
Because better BBQ should be easy to get and even easier to enjoy.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Here we go. I love the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. I think it's a great way for us celebrating our 10th anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels, to bring some of the great characters that we've come to know and love over the 10 years of this show and bring everyone together for some good old-fashioned competition. Without further ado, it is time now for the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary presented by Steinhoffels. Nostalgia?
It's the best sports show in the state. It has been since 2016. It will continue to be. It's not even remotely close.
Appreciation.
I'm happy that with our partners and with our fans, we're able to kind of celebrate this.
Fun.
It's clear that you guys have done an unbelievable job of appealing to fans, partners, not as much teammates.
And competition.
The greatest of all time.
16 champions enter, but only one will achieve true greatness. This is the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, brought to you by Events by Design. For over 25 years, Events by Design has helped organizations create seamless, unforgettable events that leave a lasting impression. Search online Events by Design. We design, you party.
That's right. Welcome into this week's edition of the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design. 2 contestants have moved on to the quarterfinal round. Dan in Brothertown and Matt Coonan in the same name region. So now we switch over to the Live, Laugh,
Do we know what the winners get in
region.
this?
Eternal Glory.
Oh, it's all just about being
It is
the
for
champs.
Eternal Glory.
Like
yes.
that.
The Live, Laugh, Love region. Next week, we'll feature Tucker and Wausau against Jeff and Monroe.
Oh, that'll be a slugfest.
The winner of that one will get the winner of today's matchup. It is Tyler in Illinois against Sparky in Sussex. So, we first welcome in our contestants. Tyler in Illinois. Welcome to the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. How are you, sir?
Good morning, guys. Good to be here. Good luck to Sparky. And quick trivia for Tausch. Am I Tyra's dad or brother?
I just was going to say, I legit was just going to say, I can't keep track of the buses. I'm not going to answer any questions about familial relations because I don't know. I'm guessing your brother.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, let's go.
On
1
the
for 1.
board. Tyler in Illinois, the representative of the Bus family, a wedding in which Tausch was invited to attend. This is why it's called the Live, Laugh, and Love region, because another guy who knows a thing or two about love is Sparky in Sussex. Sparky is the Yule log burning for the Wilde and Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions.
Good morning, gentlemen. No, not just yet. We'll wait. I think we're going to wait and see how this goes.
Yeah. Mrs. Sparky likes winning. She likes winning.
Winners only permitted tonight at Sparky's house. A lot on the line here in the Tournament of Champions.
More than I thought was going to be on the line. That's not.
All right. We start with our ceremonial coin toss. Sparky will be heads. Tyler will be tails. The coin is flipped.
Not even a coin.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's a button.
And it is heads. It's a coin. So,
Let me
heads
see that.
belongs to Sparky. That's the coin I've been using all throughout.
Does a coin have both sides? This is a ball marker. This isn't a coin. It says Milwaukee on one side. It says
I got
nothing
that
on
from
the
the
other.
Milwaukee Panthers baseball coach when we came to our event the other week.
Not a coin.
All right, whatever. Sparky has won the toss. Sparky, would you like my questions or Tausch's questions?
Well, let's see. Since you put me on hold the other day to go to Ron and the Key, and Jason took off today, I'm going with my pal Tausch.
Sparky gets Tausch's
Plus,
questions.
you won't have to hear Jesse sing, so you can mute yourself.
That's
So
true.
we will start here, Sparky. Which former U.S. president's home is now a historical landmark in an attraction in Mount Vernon, Virginia? Is it George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Vernon Davis? Not bad.
I believe that would be George Washington's home.
That would be correct.
In the category of U.S. presidents, Sparky is on the board. We now go over to Tyler in Illinois in the category song lyrics. Tyler, here we go. Finish these Miley Cyrus song lyrics. I got my hands up, they're playing my song, you know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah! Is it?
Why are there dogs running in our studio?
It's a party in the USA. Wouldn't have it any other way. Or, surprise, it's Stud Rocker's birthday.
One of my 4-year-old daughter's favorite songs, Party in the USA.
And they're both
Great
on
tune.
the board.
That song should be getting played a ton in the next couple weeks. With the the 250th, the 4th of July, the soccer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right, Sparky. Green Bay Packers edition. This one, there is no way Sparky's I'm not going to jinx it. There's no way he gets this wrong. Which of these wide receivers has the most receptions in Green Bay Packers franchise history? I don't even think I have to give him the clues. I will if I need to.
You should. Let's just do this for formality. Let's not. It's the Tournament of Champions. We shouldn't cut any corners and allow ourselves to open up to chaos. So just
okay.
give
Even
them the
though
options.
you've given wrong questions and answers throughout
give
this
them
process.
the answers.
Sterling Sharp, Devontae Adams, or Donald Driver?
I believe that would be Donald Driver.
That is correct.
Sparky's on it. 2-1 lead for Sparky in the Tournament of Champions. Chance to tie it up here with your second question. Tyler in Illinois. In the category Wisconsin Badgers trivia. In 1999, Ron Dane broke the all-time NCAA rushing record with a run at Camp Randall Stadium as Wisconsin went on to defeat which of these Big Ten rivals? Did he have that run, and did Wisconsin beat Ohio State, Iowa, or Illinois?
Ooh, 99. Let's try Iowa.
Let's try Iowa. Tausch, you were on the field, right? Am I remembering that
yes,
right?
That is correct.
And that is a tie, 2 apiece. Everybody's gotten everything right as we head into the final questions.
Oh, this last one, I'm not sure how Spark's going to do on this one. This is a tough one. Sports current events category. Which of these players was not a lottery pick in the 2026 NBA draft? Is it Kingston Flemings, Terrace Reed, or Axel Lendenborg?
Can you repeat those?
Sure. Kingston Flemings, Terrace Reed, Axel Lendenborg.
I'll go Terrace Reed.
Nailed it.
Well done, Sparky. He's 3 for 3. Terrace Reed was a first-round pick, center from UConn, but he went much later than the lottery picks in the first round of the NBA draft. Tyler, that means you need to get this right to force our way into the tiebreaker.
And I don't see a tiebreaker question here, so I am rooting. It's a bummer that you have one. I'm rooting for tie here.
There is, in fact, a tiebreaker question on hand, should it be needed. Tyler, good luck.
Thanks.
In the category Wilde Tausch history, at which annual golf outing was Tausch bonked in the noggin by the hard nose of Bucky Badger, causing a temporary feud between Old T and everyone's favorite mascot in 2025? At which golf outing was Tausch bonked in the noggin by Bucky Badger during Bucky's legendary appearance on Wilde Tausch? Was that at the American Family Insurance Championship, the ESPN Madison Open, or the Greater Bucky Open?
This one will be a complete guess. I'm guessing if you said Bucky, that's trying to lead me the wrong way. Let's go with B.
B, the ESPN Madison Open.
Let's
go. Correct.
That is great deductive reasoning there.
Wow. And so, for the first time in the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design, we are tied after all 3 questions. Our tiebreaker is in play. The way that this works, we will once again do a coin toss. The winner of the coin toss will choose whether he wants to answer the question or pass the question. And then if the question is answered correctly, that person advances. If the question is answered incorrectly, their opponent advances. So we will keep the same.
I think we should have done numbers. Whoever was closest to in a number would have been
because they can hear each other. It's a Price is Right. We've been through this with the tiebreaker.
I know. I still believe.
This is the system in place.
I believe that we should have a number.
Sparky will be heads. Tyler in Illinois will be tails.
Never fails.
It's tails.
And it didn't fail.
Tyler in Illinois. Would you like to play?
I want the ball and I'm going to score.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's not
play.
passing the ball. He's taking it.
All right. It comes down to this. Tyler in Illinois, if you get it right, you advance. If you get it wrong, Sparky is on to the quarterfinals. In the category, Wisconsin geography.
Oh, no.
Latitudinally.
You should have let him if you give him. He's still going to take the ball and he's going to score. All right, go ahead.
Which of these Wisconsin landmarks is located farthest north? Which of these landmarks is located farthest north, Tyler? Is it the Cana Island Lighthouse, the Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame, or the world's largest six-pack?
Well, again, it'll be a complete guess here. Let's go with the Fishing Hall of Fame.
The Cana Island Lighthouse is in Door County. The world's largest six-pack is in La Crosse. The Freshwater Fishing Hall of Fame is in Hayward, and it is farthest north.
Let's go.
Tyler with a big W.
Tyler in Illinois in extra time, how fitting, advances to the quarterfinal round of the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design.
Boy, that's for us. Sparky played a perfect game, and he's not advancing.
That's a tough break. Like many of Aaron Rodgers' teams in the 2010s.
His defense didn't hold up.
Sparky and Sussex, a valiant effort, my friend. You got every question right. It just
I think
wasn't
Mrs.
quite
Sparky
enough
should
today.
be Yule-log in that performance, though. I think that's Yule-log worthy.
Sparky, any final thoughts and parting words?
Yeah, first, congrats to Tyler. And, I've always got Mrs. Sparky in my corner. Oh, wait a minute. She's grabbing the Yule log and she's heading out the door. I think I'm going out with a whimper and not a bang.
I respect the fact Mrs. Sparky only wants winners.
Mrs. Sparky's heading south.
Heading north up to the Freshwater Fishing Museum.
Sparky, thank you so much for being part of our Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. We appreciate your contributions to the show as always. Thanks for being a great part of our 10-year celebration.
Thanks a lot. And, hey, I was at that game, that Iowa game that Tausch played in. So.
He would have had it easy. Yep, but sometimes it's good to be lucky. And Tyler in Illinois, you advance today. The flip of the coin helping, plus maybe a couple of guesses along the way. Congratulations, Tyler, on advancing to the quarterfinal round.
Thanks, guys. Good job, Sparky. Love you guys, and make sure Jason's back when I'm in the quarterfinals. Miss Jason today.
There you go.
We miss him too. Thanks, Tyler. We appreciate it. Tyler in Illinois advancing in the Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions, presented by Events by Design. Every question right, all 7.
Couple of war horses going at it. That's how it should be
Juggernauts.
in the Tournament of Champions.
The Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions. It is presented by Events by Design. For over 25 years, Events by Design has helped organizations create seamless, unforgettable events that leave a lasting impression. Planning a high-level event can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to when you trust Events by Design. Their team has been part of incredible experiences across Milwaukee and across southeastern Wisconsin, including events like the Potto Flame, the Lee Mechanical 50th Anniversary, Betty Brynn's Gala, the Milwaukee Night Market kicking off. So many great things that Events by Design has been part of over the years and over this year alone. So whether you're building culture with an appreciation party, hosting a brand activation, planning your next gala, pulling off a major industry event, Events by Design can help minimize your stress. Start designing your next event today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party. We will have our Wilde Tausch Trivia Tournament of Champions post-game analysis, plus Owen Dimple gets his first shot at leading us in Whoa Nelly. That's coming up next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of tranquility at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
It all started with a small storefront and a big promise. Treat every customer just like family. For decades, local families have trusted Sendix to provide the freshest food, the warmest smiles, and a place where community comes first. From generation to generation, we have grown together. Because Sendix is more than just a grocery store. It's home. Thank you for allowing us to serve you for the past 100 years. Here's to the next 100 years. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
To start the week, a series sweep of the Cincinnati Reds to give the Brewers a 7-game lead in the NL Central. A sweep that included 2 masterful pitching performances and Jake Bauers with his team-leading 14th home run.
2-2. High, deep drive. Watch this baby in right field. Way, way back. Way, way gone, Jake Bauers. That ball left vapor trails.
And Friday through Sunday, for the first time this season, it's Brewers Cubs at American Family Field. We know what happened last time the Cubs visited, right? I'm Alex Stroh.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus. Any make, any model, any condition. You'll be surprised at how much you'll get for your trade at the Cunis Trade-Up event, happening now at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealerships in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. That's right. Any make, any model, any condition. Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus and take advantage of great new vehicle specials from Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Looking for value? Shop over 3,000 pre-owned vehicles group-wide with models for every lifestyle and payments for every budget. Plus, we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. The Cunis Trade-Up event is happening now. Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus. Any make, any model, any condition. For a limited time only. Find your nearest location at shopcunis.com.
Some nights, you don't want a 4-course meal, you want a martini and maybe some fries. Girl Dinner at the Bar at St. Kate the Arts Hotel gets it. Every day from 4 until close, pull up a stool and enjoy a crisp Caesar salad, golden French fries with garlic aioli and ketchup, and one of St. Kate's signature martinis. Your call. No reservations required. You can learn more at stkatearts.com, stkatearts.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
In Florida on the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talking text line, the category should be announced in overtime after the coin flip.
I kind of agree. That's what I was kind of thinking.
So you should know what I feel like that's too much of an advantage for the contestant. And Tyler got it right, so it worked out in the end for him. But Do we want to make that change to the rules?
I still think numbers is where it needs to be.
So you want both to get, but then one of the people, whoever goes second, is going to hear what the first guess is.
Can't you mute the?
You just don't know how anything works around here.
Radio works.
Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde and Tausch.
Our producer today, he's been very quiet during the show. That's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird having a producer.
Don't usually do that around here. It's Owen Dimple. He's very well educated from Bradley University. I like him a lot. What's up, Owen?
Not much. Having a good show today. Really, that was fun. I've never really actually watched the Tournament of Champions yet. I will admit that.
Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks.
But that was awesome. That was really fun, especially going to overtime.
Yeah, it was first overtime in the Tournament of Champions presented by Events by Design. What's on your mind today, Owen? We haven't asked you that yet today.
So, last night, I watched the Brewer game, but on a second screen, I had the draft tracker, the NBA draft last night.
Sure, yeah.
I don't care about the second round of the NBA draft usually, but there's one name that I was hoping to see at any point. I don't care what team it went to, what slot it went to. There was one name I was really, really hoping to see, and that was Nick Boyd from Wisconsin. And I was very, very disappointed that he was not selected and has still not been picked up as an undrafted free agent.
Nick Boyd goes undrafted. Tausch, you liked what he did at Wisconsin last
year.
He's a good player.
He's not, obviously, what is he, 6'3"? Not super stout. But, man, I'll tell you what, he was a difference maker here. He's been a difference maker, and he's been a winner where he's been. But that's important up to a certain point. I think his measurables probably didn't fit with what the NBA folks are looking at, but he can score it. I always love the energy that he brought in the buildings. Didn't matter if it's the Big Ten tournament, if he's on the road, if it was at home. That, especially on that team last year, was so needed. There's a lot to like about Boyd, but size and speed and all of those things do matter, and obviously so far the NBA has not looked at that, but I don't disagree, Owen. I think you get guys like him in your locker room and in your building, he's going to add a lot of value to your team.
We will see if he ends up getting an opportunity in the G League, working his way up.
He would for sure get a G League or something overseas, and then maybe
two-way contract kind of situation.
But he's old too. He's been in college like 20 years, wasn't he? He's one of those older cats, and that can go a couple of different ways. And I think obviously in this case it probably doesn't help him.
I don't know if this is fair to ask for any of the parties involved, but if Wisconsin were to beat High Point and Arkansas in the tournament last year and go to the Sweet 16, do you think Nick Boyd heard his name called last night?
Definitely would not hurt. But I still think that those measurables are really important for NBA folks.
No doubt about it. Owen, anything else? One more? Anything else for him? No,
I just want to hear the other Big Ten coaches' their opinion. He torched Brad Underwood's team of Illinois. He torched Michigan State and Tom Izzo. He torched Dusty May, which, who knows? Dusty May is at the Dallas Mavericks.
He go to the Mavericks, yeah.
He coached them at Florida Atlantic and went to a Final Four with them.
I would think that he could use him down there, especially they don't have Luka. No more Doncic.
That's an interesting...
look at him. He's windy in it. He's doing his windy deal.
Maybe. Dusty May. Man, those were the good old days.
Why didn't you say May?
May.
You missed out on that great
You're right, I
opportunity
did. I'm
there.
sorry. That's it for Whoa Nelly. Thank you, Owen. Producer Owen Dimple stepping in today.
Whoa Nelly!
While Jason takes the day off.
Still don't know how his name's Dimple with an I at the end. That's still,
there's no I.
I don't know why I think there's an I. I think I see emails and things, and I always I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it out of my head.
It's how do you spell it, Owen? DIM
PFL.
PFLI.
There's no
fun fact though, when I was covering Bradley down at the Arch Madness, the end of the conference tournament championship.
What a squad.
my card for like where I was sitting within the media had an I at the end of it. So you're not the first person to make that mistake. I will say that.
There you go.
That's it for Woe Nelly, or Woen, I think is what we're calling it when Owen steps in. It's Woen. We will wrap up the show with a clip of the day. We'll see if Owen had one ready, because we are.
Wrap up the showing.
It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Students learn best when they can put their knowledge into action. JA's Stock Market Challenge teaches high school students how to analyze stocks and how current events impact value. Thanks to RSM, our partner that makes this program possible. It's just one of many ways JA brings learning to life. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
The cooler's packed, the sun is shining. The only thing left to do? Citrus back and relax with Carbless. Refreshing, ready to drink, and packed with bold citrus flavor, Carbless is the ultimate upgrade for every summer adventure, from dock days to bonfire nights. No mixing, no hassle, just crack it open and enjoy the moment. This summer, trade the stress for zest. Citrus back and relax with Carbless. Carbless, find your bliss at drinkcarbless.com.
Not every order is a big order, but it still matters. At Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more, there are no minimums. So whether you need 1 shirt or 100, you still get the same personalized service, hands-on design help, and high-quality results. Sometimes it's a small team, a quick idea, or something you just want to get right the first time. It's custom apparel without the pressure. Perfect for your business, event, and team. Big Frog makes it easy to create exactly what you need, with a local team ready to help every step of the way. Get started today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Are you starting college, moving to a new apartment, or just looking to create a new vibe in your college living? Make IKEA your first stop for everything you need to create a college space that's all you. Whether you're looking to add color with cozy bedding, organize your dorm with smart storage solutions, or find that perfect sleeper sofa for those weekend visits, IKEA has your college life covered. And verified college students get 15% off when they sign up for IKEA Family. It's free and packed with rewards. So go grab your roommate and head to IKEA Oak Creek or shop online at ikea.us or the IKEA app.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
See 7 continents, no passport required. Explore the Milwaukee County Zoo, where some of the world's most extraordinary animals are already in your backyard. The zoo is a premier destination, offering ways to connect all year long. Visit amazing animals like the giant anaconda, hippo, and rhinos. Ride on the safari train, featuring new locomotive Engine 2025. And mark your calendar for events like a la carte, where you'll groove alongside the animals. What or who will you discover first? Plan your visit at MilwaukeeZoo.org.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Wrapping up this edition of Wilde and Tausch, Jesse and Tausch today. No clip of the day honors today because Jason wasn't here, and there's nothing that I was part of that's ever clip-worthy. So no clip of the day today.
Good stuff.
Instead, what we will share with you one final time here on Wilde and Tausch, the John Moser Children's Radiothon going on right now with our sister station 95.3 WBEV and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam in Dodge County, benefiting local Dodge County charities. One of the most successful radio marathon auctions and events that takes place every year around the state of Wisconsin. It wins Wisconsin Broadcasters Awards, is nationally recognized for how amazing this event is for one of the smaller communities with a media outlet in the state of Wisconsin. I was part of it, started my career in Beaver Dam, was part of this event for a couple of years, and I've been fortunate enough to go back each of the last several years. I'll be back again tonight from 6 to 8, joining Cale Zomer. If you want to tune in, Daily Dodge TV. You don't need to be local in Dodge County to win some of these great auction items. You just scan the Venmo here, make a donation, of course, to all the charities, but you can also call in to place your bid. You can go online, dailydodge.com. All kinds of Brewers tickets, gift cards, great coolers for the summer travel.
From our food to our water, we all care where the things we put into our bodies